All right, welcome back to another episode of Orphans of the American Dream. Last we left off, I think uh, you guys infiltrated the base, found out very little, and then tortured that guy, found out a little more, killed him, and then decided
Hey, we had a trial
to.
first.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, forgive me, you guys. I skipped a big step there.
We didn't
You
just
guys had a
murder
trial.
him.
Yeah, didn't murder him.
Talked about he was probably a bad guy, and he agreed, and then he killed him.
Quite literally.
Yes. We did as much of a trial as we could have in that sort of situation.
And then you guys decided with the rest of the group, you guys have a plan to infiltrate the base and with Helen and Clarence, infiltrate the base and use an EMP to just disable everything so that the nuke can't launch or the nukes can't launch anything. And then Connor interjected and said to go hire some people to be able to draw people out of the base as you guys infiltrate it. So the rest of the crew can participate in the plan. And then, of course, I think we probably should have switched the flashbacks around from last episode and this episode. And I think in post, like when we make like a live action TV show of this or an anime or something like that,
Or when I make the
we'll do
podcast
that,
version.
But yeah, that too. I mean, yeah, but I mean that's like we'll do bigger things than that, I think. But
okay, sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Probably should have switched around the flashbacks, but it's fine. So we'll open up with I'm not sure how exactly you guys want this scene to go, but you guys wanted to do deal with Ryan and Alyssa because we never did that. So what would you guys have done? Like what does this look like?
Kill them all. Both.
Where did we last leave off with what was going on with them? Like, what was the last thing that was said to her about them?
It was David.
It was literally when David was just like, "I'm not going to kill you." That's the last thing we got from them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I learned some stuff in that episode, but yeah.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
basically the last thing that we did.
I mean, so my big worry with them was David. So honestly, I would just kind of leave it up to David. Right?
Yeah.
Because if he's like, I'm not going to kill you, then I'm completely fine with him being, because I don't think Jared or I is going to worry too much about what exactly we do with them. As long as there's a solution to the problem that is them. And I probably, at this point, if David has already made that decision in his head, like, I'm fine with David just deciding, right? We just talk it over and be like, all right.
Well, there's also another unfinished element in that there was the broken phone thing, and I gave it to her saying someone could fix it, or maybe I took it from her saying we could fix it, whatever. So that's an element too, because now we don't know what's going to happen when she calls back to Europe. So that might be a thing to consider. Never finished that at all.
Yeah, I guess those are the two things to decide there. But I mean, I don't know if my character, at least right now, has a vested interest in either of those. Like in like having enough of an opinion to like really make a case for one way or the other how to deal with those things. So if either of you do, I'll bend to your judgment on that.
I'm basically of the mindset that she's the direct reason Mickey died. So she basically killed her.
Okay, so you're basically like, we need to do a trial for murder.
Yeah.
Or at the very least for like manslaughter or something.
Yeah. like criminal negligence or something.
Yeah, something like that. What's it called? Being an accomplice to murder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, then I mean, it sounds like Jared probably has the strongest opinion about this situation. So maybe I'd ask you, Jared, like, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'd probably defer to Connor on this because
It's fine.
Yeah, there you go, Connor.
We
You just
defer until nothing happens.
none of us are gonna. We don't care enough, so we want you to decide. Apparently.
Oh no, I just said oof of like,
Yeah.
how do you bring that
Uh-huh.
to Connor?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I'd also still like to see what happens with this phone thing, because I don't know if I have an opinion or not yet, because I haven't seen it play out all the way yet. Because I mean, there's always a possibility that there'll be new information, or that the situation will change when this phone call happens, right? In fact, it almost certainly will. So I feel like we should find out what's going on with that first. Because if it turns out all her kids are dead, then she doesn't have any reason to betray us anymore, or whatever, you know? Like, and also at that point, I feel like she's paid pretty much, you know, the biggest price she could pay for that. Anyways, so that's why I'm both in and out of character interested in how this call goes before I have an opinion on whether or not they're just like needs to be a trial or whatever.
so okay, so I think it took 2 weeks for you guys to travel to the base. So let's say 2 days before you guys got to the base, they were probably Ryan was able to fix like the radio. Would you have brought up the issue before then? Like, would you have waited this long to deal with that? Or would you have been like, let's give them a trial before that is resolved?
before what is resolved.
Before Alyssa places a call trying to figure out if her kids are still alive.
Yeah, he didn't see that episode, I don't think. So
Alyssa ran back to the train to get the device that was used to communicate to her that her kids had been captured.
Okay.
All that. So she went back to grab it to fix it, to try to figure out if she could place a call back to try to figure out what happened to her kids.
I wouldn't care if she called. Everyone gets one free phone call, right?
Right. No, but
he wants to know if you would have waited for him to fix the phone.
Right.
No. I don't think I have an opinion either way.
So okay, so then you guys probably waited until they're able to make that call. So okay, so that'll be the scene we kind of open up on then. Is probably you guys like pulled over on the bus or something like that, and I don't know, maybe Alyssa's like walked up on a little hill and like tries to place the call. And I think I don't know. I think we just get the scene of her placing that call and being like, hello, is anybody there? And like somebody answers and is just like, is mom, and she's like, oh, thank goodness. Is it you? Is it you, Tim? Oh no, I used Tim already.
There can only be one.
There can only be one Tim. It's just confusing otherwise. Our fans will look back at the canon and be like, what do I do with this two? What do I do with these two Tims?
Otherwise, one Tim will have to cut the other one in half with a giant two-handed sword.
Well, what you do is you do the thing, where it's like all the Joshes meet at this one date and they fight, and whoever is left gets to be the only Josh.
I'm going to say Jack. His name is
Okay.
Jack. We don't have any Jacks yet, right?
I don't think so, no.
whatever. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. So yeah, Jack is like, yeah, Mom, it's me. And he just like starts sobbing and is like, all the other kids are dead. And she's just like, what? What do you mean? Do you mean what do you mean? And Jack's like, I hid, and so they left after they killed the rest of them. Mom, I'm scared. I don't know how to get out. I don't know if I should leave. And she's just like absolutely stunned and like can't answer. I think we get a scene of like Ryan comes over and like takes the phone from her and like tries to help Jack, and Alyssa just like goes and sits down and like can't function, and basically realizing like I tried to keep him alive for as long as possible and it didn't even matter. So I'm assuming all of you are present for this because this is like an important milestone in what all happened. But
Yeah.
Somebody like intervene in any way or like make a decision one way or the other?
I mean, I feel like we should give her a minute and then we can talk about it like amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Because So yeah, I'll probably be like, I guess I'll turn to you guys and be like, well, that either means she's going to blame us for this because I killed that guy.
John,
thank you.
Do you know a character of like, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the most generic American name in the world. I can't remember it. Literally the name they use for when you can't have a name. We don't have a name for someone. John Doe.
Yep.
Yeah. So she'll either blame us because of that, or she will not have any further reason to cause trouble. We'll have to see how she takes it.
Anybody?
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of vested interest in this, so I'm just kind of watching it play out.
So you're just kind of like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Jared, does that bother you? Or do you still want more to be done about it? Or
I mean, I'm fine with waiting until everything's done, as long as they, don't try to skip town beforehand.
So waiting
till the whole, until they're done on the phone, I guess. Like, this isn't it's not a life or death, like we have to do this now thing. So I don't really care.
So you guys are kind of talking about what is the plan then after that?
We need to see her reaction. If she comes to the conclusion that we're to blame, then
after the phone call kind of a thing, after she gains her composure.
Yeah, like once we find out what she is determined the reasoning is here, that's the important part. Because if she says, "Oh, those Germans killed my children, we need to go destroy them," then whatever, I don't have any problem with it. But if she's like, "Oh, you killed John and that's why they're dead," well, now we have an issue.
I'm assuming you guys have like kept them away from guns, correct? Like you haven't allowed them to have a gun.
Yeah, as much as we've made it clear, like we're not going to kill them, we're not stupid, right? So we're not going to they're still prisoners, more or less.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So I think Alyssa, like after a while, like Ryan eventually brings the phone back over and Alyssa talks with Jack a little bit more and they kind of tell him what to do. And then like they hang up and I think they talk for a little bit, and you kind of watch them talk for a little bit, and then, like Alyssa just like stands up abruptly, and Ryan's like, Alyssa, come on, and then just like stalks over to you guys and is like, give me a gun.
Give me a gun is what he says.
Yeah. No, what she says, what Alyssa says.
Oh, sorry, I got it mixed up. So Ryan's freaking out Alyssa for coming over and then saying, give me a gun.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Ryan. I don't know why.
Ryan was like, come on, Alyssa.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Alyssa stalks over.
Does she just kind of looks at all of us?
Yeah, and she just holds out her hand. She's just like, give me a gun. I think she particularly like is looking at David.
Sure.
Yeah,
I just
I mean,
David.
like, well, what do you need that for?
I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Well, we're not there yet, but good enthusiasm. I mean, yeah, I don't hand her one.
You do have hand her one?
No, I don't hand her one, but I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, when we get there.
Okay. She's like, will you teach me? How to better use a gun? I need to have a body count is equal. And she like tears up.
Yeah.
Can I make an empathy check on her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Like just like I'm pretty sure like it makes sense that she'd want revenge or whatever, but I just want to make sure that if we put a gun in her hand, she's not going to eventually turn on us for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh sure, yeah. Difficulty 3.
Like even if it's just like a stability thing, right? Like she may, if they offer her something, like if she turns, that sort of thing. Let's see. Neither of you have empathy, right?
Yes, I do.
You do?
He does now.
Can I get a plus
he
1
got
from...
sick of losing those rolls.
Right, yeah.
I moved it to +3.
Nice. Can I get a plus 1 from Jared then?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the explanation behind that? That you're just inexplicably super empathetic now.
Because I failed so bad, I got good at it.
Yeah.
It's like what's it called? The burning wheel. You fail until you're good.
Yeah, but you have to fail a lot in Burning Wheel.
I have failed a lot.
You failed like twice or maybe 3 times.
No, I failed
Okay.
every single. I failed a few times.
Well, I got a 3, so.
Is that including the +1 that Jared gave you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of.
And this would be a creating advantage, right? So I'm learning an aspect of hers if it's.
Oh.
Like ultimately, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the hard secret, like reveal the most important aspect from them and tell me something about why it's important. Right, because my real question is, what's more important to her, like at this point, revenge,
right,
or something else, or even is she stable enough that. Like, is this a stable sort of like cold revenge that she has right now, or is her emotional like balance completely out of whack, and who knows what she'll do?
Well, I don't know how to attach that to a current aspect she has. I'm thinking of maybe just creating one, but it's not gonna be as specific as that. So just like she seems like it's not a what's the word? It's not a phase. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not a it's not a phase she's going through of revenge. Like she's yeah. I forget what the other word for that is. But it's fine. Nobody else does here there currently. So yeah, it seems like a level-headed revenge in the sense that she's not gonna she's give up on that. I don't know.
She's stable enough in her, like basically her entire personality for right now has become revenge against them. The main thing I was worried about is like, is she unstable enough that if they like tried to lie to her and convince her that the kids actually weren't dead or something like that, right? Like that if she would turn or something, like if she could be manipulated by them. But it sounds like she's pretty clearly like on our side, or at least against them.
Yeah, she's against them.
Cool. All right.
I think the aspect is just justice for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at this point, I'm gonna be like, what? We're all hunky dory friends again. You literally are the direct result of Mickey's death. Not to mention all the other people on that train. You think you're still part of this group? You killed Connor's wife.
So what's your goal with this?
I mean, it sounds like you're rolling provoke.
Right. What's your goal with like this? What you're saying? What are you trying to accomplish by telling her this?
Well, I mean, I think like I'll probably interject and we'll see if it matters. Because yeah, so I look at him like some tool in a tank killed Connor's wife. She made a mistake. She led them here. She didn't mean to. She didn't even know that was what was going to happen. Was it dumb? Yes. But did she have a reason? Yes.
Still, her reason is the direct result of her decision. Is the direct result of all of those people dying. Because she betrayed us.
Well, yeah, her decision allowed that to happen. It was somebody else's decision that she fired some shells into the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, we can't have this on our. I'm not saying executor, but
so then what are you saying?
We can't have somebody around that we can't trust. Like this, like fool me once, shame on me, but it's not going to happen again.
Well, her reason for doing what she did is gone. She only has one reason to do anything now, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't hurt us any.
So that's it.
Ignore that's done.
Oh, okay. That's it. We just. Oh yeah, it's fine. You betrayed us. Mickey's dead. Welcome back.
We just leave it at everyone you've ever loved is dead. I think that's probably a good enough punishment, don't you? Except that guy, I guess.
Is Connor part of this? Is he anywhere near?
I guess that's up to you guys. Would you have brought him along?
I mean, you're the leader, so I figured.
Right, but have you guys been trying to keep this a secret from Connor?
I don't imagine.
No,
we have any reason to.
Okay,
this is the point where I'd like look at you. Like, are you fine with this?
I think he looks long and hard at Alyssa, and I think Ryan is coming up behind her now too, and he looks long and hard at Ryan. And he says, he says, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but Mickey couldn't have children. And he pauses and then grabs a gun from his belt and holds it out to Alyssa. And he says, so those are my kids too.
I have thought you were going to shoot her in the face.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you mentioned the gun, I was like, oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. I still wasn't sure what you were getting at.
Yep. And I think Alyssa takes it, and like tears are just streaming down her face again. And actually, I don't think she does take it. I think she reaches out to take it and then puts her hands down, and like the tears start streaming down her face, and she like goes over and hugs Connor. And I think Connor just doesn't move. Like he doesn't give her a hug back. Like his hand is just kind of out with the gun still and just doesn't know what to do really. And then Alyssa lets go and takes the gun and Connor just gives Ryan a nod and walks back over to the bus. Or no, I think. Yeah, no, he does that. Yeah. And I'm assuming Ryan and Alyssa just go back to the bus too. I guess they kind of look around at you guys like, you guys gonna stop us? Anything more you guys want to say or do? Are we still under arrest? Like, not really sure how to handle you guys after that exchange, if like that has affected your guys' opinions or not.
I just shrug and leave.
Yeah, I just I go up and like, sorry about your kids. You know, tread lightly. Not everybody here is got their heads screwed on straight.
What do you mean by that, David?
Is that what she asked?
No.
Even me?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Just what I said.
But who are you implying doesn't have their head screwed on straight?
Yeah, everybody.
Okay. I was just curious, trying to figure out like how she's supposed to take that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine
general,
she probably
like,
doesn't know how she's supposed to take it, but that's
okay,
fine.
all right, that's fine. Yeah. I was just kind of like, Caleb, do you say anything? No,
nothing more than that. I mean, if Connor is like, I'm cool with everything, like, I'm just like, okay, glad that worked itself out.
Okay, so I think then we'll do our classic zoom out and zoom in, but it's a few days later. Who wants to? I think we'll start with you, David. So you got all three of you guys were going to split up, right?
I believe that was the consensus.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we were gonna figure out what the like breakdown of recruiting was gonna look like, and then to go where we needed to go.
I assume we'll have our dedicated NPCs with us.
Yeah, that was really the question. It's like, who are you bringing with?
Yeah. So I mean, Liz is probably with me.
Jared, I'm assuming Becky and Lynn are with you. Anybody else with either of you two?
I mean, I wouldn't think so.
Caleb, who are you taking with? Do you want to take Emily with?
Sure, I'll take Emily.
Maybe I have Alyssa with me if I've been teaching her how to use a gun properly.
Cool. Okay, fun.
I mean, if no one's gonna take him, I'll take Mr. Lang. We had a moment there in the fire.
Sure, yeah. I would have taken him if you didn't, but
okay, everybody line up. Show us the tallest.
who gets picked
picked
last? Yeah,
yeah. The three of us have them all lined up. I'm like, I pick him.
Yeah.
Who's picked last for the dodgeball team?
Yeah. Who do we have who hasn't been picked? Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else that
Ryan hasn't been picked, but I'm assuming
go with Alyssa. Yeah,
Ryan is probably either gonna go with Alyssa or stay with Helen and Clarence to help them with the EMP because he's
Connor.
Oh yeah,
kind
he
of good
does
at
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Connor as well. Caleb, do you want Connor with you?
I mean, I was almost kind of assuming Connor would go on his own, right? Because he was talking about
I guess so.
Right? He was talking about going and recruiting a bunch of different people from like the surrounding places.
Sure, that makes sense.
So that was kind of my thought.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Who's taking the traitors?
Who's taking the who?
The traitors with him.
The traitors? Ryan
I
and
think
Alyssa?
that Ryan's probably staying behind, but Alyssa
Yeah.
came with me because I was showing her how to use a gun.
Oh, okay.
Jared's just gonna label them as the traitors from now on. It's like in Robin Hood season 2 after Alan Adale betrays everybody, and like everybody just calls Alan names.
Spoiler alert for Robin Hood BBC series. Sound like the statute of limitations is passed on that.
That's how Jared is going to treat Ryan and Alyssa from now on.
Show now, isn't it? Considering
it is, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it probably has expired.
Yeah. And I'll give another spoiler here. It's also like joke, after David. Alan Adale joins back with the team, and then they're still making fun of him. Like, hey, raise your hand if you haven't betrayed the team. All right, guys. Very funny. Oh wow, gifted the entire desk. Anyway, is that actually how you like refer to them now, Jared? You just call them the traitors all the time now?
Probably not. Since Connor has forgiven them.
Okay.
I still don't, trust them completely.
Like them, yeah.
Or like them. Yeah, but oh well.
Oh well. Okay. And then obviously you have Granola with you, Jared.
Oh, of course. Oh, you mean the dog? Yeah, I have him too.
Yeah, you just have like a little pouch as well. Okay. So I think
I have my little satchel full of gorp.
What?
You guys don't know what gorp is?
No.
It's trail mix, but you add in a bunch of like other stuff that's like gross.
Oh.
Like pepperoni.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You keep that in mind. So I think I want to start with Caleb then, I think. So are you having any type of conversation on your way? You, Emily, and who?
Yeah, me, Emily. I think that was the only named NPC that I took.
Yep.
Are there any other? Did we say there were any other ones?
No, that's it. Yeah. Everybody else claims more people than you.
Sad. All right, I guess it's just a me and Em adventure.
You can have Lang if you want him.
What about Connor?
Connor went on his own.
Oh, right. We said that. Okay.
Who you have with you, Jared?
If you want Lang, you can have him. I have Becky and Lynn.
Yeah, maybe just to like even out the
have
numbers
someone
a
with
bit.
combat skills.
Also that. All right. Yeah, I'll take Lang. Emily and Lang have been kind of a staples of the group. So I feel like those are the two NPCs that I've like most interacted with, besides like obviously Connor.
Yeah.
So cool.
And Mickey, but
Well, yeah, but I'm saying living NPCs, the NPCs that are still alive. So we're just. Oh yeah, I guess did we break down who's recruiting who or whatever? What are we actually doing?
Well, you guys don't
guys?
really know. You guys don't really know where exactly like people are, like who's even there.
Right.
You just know like ideas of cities to like go to and see.
You know what we need to do? We need to look at the map here. We need to figure out what the feasibility of this even looks like.
The feasibility is handwave.
Well, we have 3 days, Connor. Like
right.
So
right. No, I mean that's why it's handwave. Like there aren't cities on the map here besides the one that's
I know.
Here.
Well, my point is, so this is the thing I'm talking about. I could care less about random hobos that we're hiring here, right? Like that's
right.
In my mind, that's what Connor's doing, right? Connor's doing all the like random people recruiting. What we're focused on is like talking to specific named individuals.
Right. That'll happen as well. Unless you're doing that on the way or like beforehand.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Because really the only people that I would have cared to recruit, because again, I assume Connor knows what he's doing with this. He's going to recruit a bunch of like random people, is Josh and Adam. Right?
Right.
So I guess this is a conversation between all of us, like David and Jared and stuff. Like what is our plan exactly here? Like what are we doing to recruit people? Because I don't know. I guess maybe part of me just thinks like, unless you have, I guess you did say you had like specific ideas for little vignettes here. It just seems random, like that we would play out recruiting random people when at this point in the story, like I just feel like we don't have enough story space to introduce new random NPCs.
It's not about introducing new random NPCs.
Mm-hmm. But even then, like, I don't know why each of us would go to random cities and then recruit. I don't know why. I don't know why we'd play that out. Like, maybe we could just make a roll, but like, just recruiting like a mass of people at a random town.
Yes.
Right.
Well, and there will be basically you guys are going on mini quests.
Right. I guess my point is I don't know what my expectation should be here in terms of what we planned to do. Because me as a character would have not really cared about recruiting random people like that. I would literally just assume that's what Connor's doing. I would have been like, we need to get in touch with Adam. We need to get in touch with Josh. Like,
right, but you can do that like with the like whatever phone or whatever.
Right.
That's
what
Alyssa had.
Right. That's kind of my point. I'm like, I would even maybe just not go anywhere then and just do that. Right. Like, I guess David and Jared, what are your thoughts on what's going down here?
Considering if my group specifically went anywhere that's like more than maybe a mile away, we'd get lost. Unless Becky has like foresting skills that we don't know of yet.
Right.
So basically, we'll let's just throw this scene in. So we'll do like a little planning scene. So Connor basically like pulls out a map.
Yeah.
And is like, all right, so here are the little cities that we passed by on our way here. And then like there are signs of life over here, and like draws an X, and signs of life over here, and signs of life over here. No,
I'll draw them for you.
and they're all like within a hex, basically. So even closer than that.
Did we ever figure out how far we can actually move in a day on this map?
A hex a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can make that work, more or less.
Is basically what we did.
Why did the Germans not kill these people on their way in?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering about the like situation. I mean, maybe we'll just find out, but the situation in these towns, because again, from my perspective, it just seems weird to just show up at these towns and then say, hey, you know those Germans over there? Don't you hate them? Let's come with us, right?
Well, but that's kind of the point is, how do you reach anybody else? How do you communicate with anybody else? Because you don't know if Adam and Josh even have a
well, I know Adam has
whatever
airplanes.
Device. No, but whatever device to contact them. Like, how are you supposed to communicate with them in the first place?
I'll figure it out.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a simple matter of you have some sort of like phone or like the device that Alyssa had, and you leave it with Ryan, Helen, and Clarence, and they try to figure out if they can reach Adam or Josh,
and then we can have the
when you come back.
Okay, that makes sense.
You'll have a conversation.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that was kind of my plan for it. Either that or you try to do it beforehand.
Yeah,
but I think it makes more sense.
Okay, so
they try to reach them for a couple of days.
Yeah. Again, the thing that I'm thinking. So I know that. So I have like a really good rapport, and it makes sense mechanically for me to go out and recruit random people. I just don't think I, as a character, would do that in this moment. One, because I think that's Connor's shtick, right? But also
recruiting random people.
Well, yeah, getting like guerrilla fighters together, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Where does Connor get all the gorillas from?
Dude,
I'm sure there's a zoo nearby.
Yeah, that's
from you, Mr. Harambe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, spoilers.
What do you mean spoilers? We did that in the session.
I know, but people haven't watched the session yet. They don't know.
How do you know?
Exactly.
Anyone who watches our content watches all of our content, and that's
yeah.
We have obsessive fans, and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that just came to my mind as like the sort of epitome of player Caleb nonsense, I think I would try to infiltrate the base again and recruit Matthew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally okay with that.
Okay.
But is this something you're going to deceive the rest of them about then and be like,
I don't think it's so much like deceiving as just like I take a couple steps out of town and then I'm just like, what am I doing? This is
with Emily until, and then you turn to Emily and say, never mind, I'm not going.
Yes. No, I think that's literally what it is. Like, I think it's literally like we because this is what Connor is planned, right? It's like we plan this mission. And then I probably look at Emily and Lang and say, you know what? You have a couple of, and then I assume we have a couple of other of Connor's crew with us, right? Unnamed people. And I just say, I think you guys can handle this.
They like look at each other and they're like, what?
No, you have Rodrigo here. He knows how to sway a crowd. You say that you said that we can just have a random NPC of Connor's crew.
They're all dead. We established that after the train. They all died.
Oh, you're right. I'm dumb. Yeah. I just forgot that for some reason.
That's why you guys are like, well, we need manpower to try to draw
right.
off the army.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to look at Emily and Lang's character sheets.
Yeah,
do they have rapport at all?
No. I think
is there
Emily
anyone
has
else
a 2
in our
rapport.
crew? Oh yeah, there you go. Emily has 2. That's fine. She can do it.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. So okay, this is what I explained this to them. I'm like, okay, so we could do this, or I could go recruit Matthew. And this is like classic Caleb thinking out loud, bouncing things off the wall sort of situation.
I think Mr. Lang walks up to you and says, all right, Caleb. I get it that everything's really hard and the infiltration is coming up, in just like 3 days, but now is not the time to get drunk. Come on. Let's start traveling. We can make camp early tonight. You can sleep it off. It'll be okay.
And I look at him.
And then he's assuming you are currently drunk because you.
Yeah. I look at him like just really seriously, and I'm like, Lang, I never drink.
And he's like, which is probably why this is affecting your judgment so much.
Think about it. If I could get Matthew back on our side, who knows what he's picked up from them already? Matthew could be the linchpin to this entire thing. If I get Matthew on our side, we might have our stalling all taken care of. Emily,
right, so everybody else that
I just ignore Lang and I turn to Emily and I say, Emily, you know how to talk to people?
Emily's like, I do know how to communicate in English, yes.
Listen, you're the most extroverted extrovert I've ever met in my entire life. And I just like put a hand on her shoulder, follow the plan, it'll go fine.
Right, but we don't actually have a plan.
The plan is tug on these people's heartstrings. I'm sure that the Germans haven't been kind to the people in this area. They've needed resources. They probably raided the towns nearby. Just tell them we want to kick those Germans' butts, and well, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so Kil, this is going to get like their mission is going to become. It is going to be a complication in the future. Just a heads up.
That's
if you're
fine.
not going to go with them, it will be a complication in the future.
Listen, Connor. Okay,
and
I know this. Like, this is me you're talking about. This is so much more interesting to me.
Okay, and then on top of this, I want you to understand that if you try to infiltrate by yourself and you get caught, you will start the series finale in chains.
And I can't think of a more epic way to start it. Let's be real about this.
It's gonna be so funny.
But we probably cut away from my scene there, and we should have them do stuff, because I did a whole bunch of stuff last time, so don't worry about me. Have David and Jared do the things.
Alrighty.
Come back to me.
This is gonna be. And if you change your mind, let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so David,
the GM
are you having
"Are you sure?"
Wait,
Listen,
what?
And the GM says, "Are you sure?"
It's like, listen, I have been the GM often enough to understand completely what I'm getting myself into. But this is how I
Okay,
play role-playing
really don't
games
think
as a
so.
player. This is how I do it, guys. David knows. David's GM'd for me multiple times. This is how I do things.
Yeah, I don't think you understand.
I'm rolling the
quite
recklessness
the
move in
situation.
Uncharted Worlds right now, guys. I am rolling the recklessness move.
You rolled a 1.
Not yet. Not yet. I didn't.
No, you did.
You can't just say
man.
because you
mean,
decided something, you
yeah.
roll a 1.
He got in there last time. It'll be fine.
No,
Exactly.
Right. No, just trying to say is you.
So,
I think you're making
Caleb,
a bad decision.
To derail us more, do you tell David or I?
No, of course not.
No, he waits till you guys are gone.
Yeah. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't think it's even a conscious thing on Caleb's part. Like, I think he literally starts going and then he just thinks about it. He's just like,
Yep.
wait, like this is so much better.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine as long as you guys don't think that that's like cheating.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because then he doesn't have to make a deceive roll. It's basically what he's.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not there, he can't lie to it.
Well,
Exactly.
because that was even like how my line of thinking went as a player, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. I'm just so they don't feel like
No,
they don't
it's all
get
good.
to make a notice roll or empathy roll or whatever. Okay,
I do have empathy. No, I'm kidding.
So David, are you having a particular conversation on your way there? Do you decide halfway there that you're not going?
Yeah, I just said screw it and I start shooting everybody. No,
Oh man! Holy crap!
so we don't know anything about the place we're going, right?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess in that case, I just go there. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think you're looking at your map on your way there, and before you reach your destination, you see like some campfires smoke coming up from the trees, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 campfire smoke pillars coming up.
okay.
So you basically, there are signs of life before you reach the city.
Right. Okay. I mean, I don't have stealth, so I'm gonna be like, it's a little unusual. Liz, do you want to check it out? Make sure you're not seen, of course.
She's like, sure thing. And I think she's like already up a tree.
And I'm like,
And she starts like jumping from tree to tree
Mhm.
like a little monkey. Little girl
Great.
Tarzan. I'm gonna have her roll stealth here. I'm gonna say difficulty 3. Let's see what happens. Okay. So when you
She got a 3.
Yep. So when you say like check it out, so you're like take a look at what it is and come back and report basically.
right, like, try and figure out why there's people camped outside of the city instead of in it.
Okay, yeah. I think trying to think of what the minor cost here is, or if I just want to just let it be fine. Minor costs are complicated to me. I don't know why. I think she doesn't quite. She like gets there and gets back okay, so she's not seen, but she can't. And she sees a bunch of people with like makeshift tents and stuff like that. She comes back and reports that to you. I'll do it in character. So she comes back and I think she like hugs her legs on a branch and just like spins down her head upside down to you and it's just like, hey, I'm back. And it's like, well, it kind of looks like they've been here for, I don't know, it doesn't look like they've been here for very long, but I can't quite tell why they're not at the city or if there are still people at the city. I was trying to listen to their conversations and I couldn't quite tell, but I mean, there are quite a bit of people here. Should we just go see if they want to kill some Germans?
I suppose. Were they armed?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, not like armed like we are. And she like, makes like a fake bazooka thing, like, like does that, like, none of those.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have any of those either, but
Well, but you used to, so that's what she's referring to. Like,
right, okay. Yeah, so he just shrugs and he says, well, be ready to use that thing. I'd point to Melissa's gun. And
she's like, are you talking to me or are you talking to Alyssa?
Talking to Alyssa. I know you're ready to use yours. She's
like, yep. It's on the ground. She like jumps down. And Alyssa's just like, thank you, David, for letting me come along and for trusting me with this.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, we got a score to settle, right?
She nods. So you just head on over then?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Are you making a group stealth roll then of like sneaking up on them?
Oh,
or just gonna enter and
sneak? Once we get closer, I'm like, you two stay by the trees. I'll go in and if everything goes south, do the thing.
Okay, yeah. And by the thing you mean start picking them off one by one like the little ants, right?
Or 10 by 10, whatever you can do.
Oh, 10 by 10. I like that idea. I like that. Alyssa, what do you think? 10 by 10? And she just kind of shrugs. I see me just walk in.
Yeah. Shaking my head.
Yeah. So do you just kind of like walk in like this?
Oh, no.
Hands up, like, no?
No, just walk in.
Okay. Yeah, so I think people just kind of like look at you and like hands on their holsters, but like don't draw any weapons or anything. And are just
you guys know there's a perfectly good city over there,
right? They all kind of look around and they're like, have you seen the city recently?
Did I lose you?
Uh-oh.
I froze, didn't I? Oh boy, goody gumdrops. Oh, I got Caleb back. I got Jared back. My internet connection is unstable. That's exciting.
I think it was a Zoom thing. The same thing happened to me.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better. We still haven't gotten Connor back.
Yes, he is. Oh, there he goes. Officially gone. Well, you guys want to play some Crusader Kings? So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how awesome do you think my mission is going to be?
I mean, I'm almost certain.
Depends how you roll.
You're going to get captured at some point, but I mean,
fine.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, honestly, if I wanted to, I could, for this session, switch around my stealth and rapport.
I guess you could. I don't know how I feel about that rule.
What's that rule of the GM is gone? You can do what you want.
So abusable. No, the ability to switch things conveniently when you know you're going to need something different for the next session. I sort of hate it.
Yeah.
He's talking about switching out his stealth and rapport for this session.
No, you skipped. Remember, I told you that you
can't change
around them. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there, but
yeah, it was weird.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know how much you heard, but I walked in and I was like, there's a perfectly good city over there, right?
Yeah, so they respond and say, have you seen the city recently?
No.
They're like, yeah, the city is not in good shape. And they kind of look around at each other like, there are a lot of sick people there right now. I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, yeah, what kind of sick?
I think one of them like walks up to you and is like, my name is Randy. What's yours? And like puts out his hand.
Yeah. David, I'm looking to see if people are interested in. We'll talk about it later. What's going on with the town?
Why don't you come by the fire with me? And are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why not? Eat.
Um,
Then I'll like um make a gesture. I mean, I'm not going to gesture. I don't have good stealth, but I have not been given any kind of indication that they should come out of the woods yet. So I'm hoping they don't. Elizabeth and Alyssa, I mean.
right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think, yeah. So I think you like go and sit down by the campfire. And like a couple moments later, like he hands you some soup and it's just like, here you go. It's not much. And I hope you can stomach it.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, none of you are sick, right?
No, you'd know if we were sick. And
Okay.
I think Liz appears next to you like a moment later, and it's like, I'm hungry too.
Yeah, I jump a little. I'm like, you gotta stop doing that.
And she's like, I thought I had to stop sleeping underneath your bed.
Well, that was for your sake. This one's for my sake.
I'm sorry, I forgot you have a weak heart. And it's like, more, please.
This is Elizabeth. She's I don't know, a goblin or something.
She's like, yeah, that's probably accurate.
And then I look over to the woods like where Alyssa is, because there's no point in her not coming over.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, so you give her like a wave or whatever, and she like very cautiously like comes out like, I'm very like not sure what's this was not the plan.
Yeah.
But Kilmanson walks over as well and sits down. Mm-hmm. And I think Randy just says, well, we were kind of driven out of our homes by a disease, I guess you could say. It kind of made all of our people crazy, mutated their flesh and weird things. We've never seen anything like it before.
Are you sure? You sure it doesn't look like the radiation sickness? It sounds pretty familiar to me.
That's exactly what it looks like. But it doesn't affect humans. That's why I said we've never seen anything like it before.
Well, it didn't affect animals either until the next drop.
What's that?
It didn't affect animals either initially, before it was a thing.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this wasn't a natural evolution. This was a man. He came and he infected us.
Well, one second.
Why don't we switch over to you, Jared? We'll cut there, and as you're going along, are you doing anything?
Am I doing anything?
Yeah, like are you talking to Becky or Lynn or anything like that, or
talking to them?
Just like normal stuff, though. Like,
yeah,
you're not trying to have a particular conversation.
Not exactly.
Okay. So you guys are bantering or whatever it is.
I'm back.
And I just skipped over to Jared.
Okay.
so basically I'm trying to figure out, like, are you having a particular conversation like before you reach the city?
Probably just talking about tactics on taking down the base and whatnot. About what happened with like the trial and such, and
okay, yeah,
recent events.
Okay, just catching each other up, basically.
Hoping Caleb's not doing anything crazy right now.
Cuts over to Caleb briefly, and he's like, so how do I break into there?
Oh, and just for, to clarify, I'm wearing my white armor right now. Not the German disguise one.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so do you want to play out that conversation, Jared, or you just want to be there? That's kind of what I was trying to figure out. If like you guys catching each other on current events, like you want to play out that conversation, or
I mean, if you had something interesting to go off of, I guess. But
well, that's what I was asking. That's what I was asking you.
Okay.
Like basically, like, is there any specific conversation you feel like you need to have with Lynn or Becky? Because you had Mr. Lang as well.
So
but you gave him, so it's just those two, I think.
Yeah, so I'm just like, what are we doing?
Okay.
I feel like this group isn't necessarily suited for. Do you know where we're going?
Lynn is like, I think if we go northwest here, but the road is kind of veering northeast.
I flipped the map upside down, like right side up. I'm like, I think you were holding it upside. Wait a minute.
and Lynn's like, yep, that was
lost.
It. And she's like, no, it's veering northwest now. We're fine. It's like, just should be around this bend here. And Becky's like, Lynn, you were never good with directions, and like takes the map from her. And it's like, we need to go this way.
Are we lost?
No, I think you reach your destination just fine.
Okay. It just takes 3 days.
No, it's guys, we overslept. We missed the invasion.
We literally just watched that episode yesterday.
Yes. Okay. So I think you reach a city, and it looks like a pretty normal city. Looks a little bit smaller than some of the other cities you've come across before, but it's there. So, I think as you reach there, Lynn's like, so I think there was a little bit more to your question earlier of what are we doing? Because what do we do now?
Yeah, I think this was the easy part, and that sucked. We're supposed to convince people to join our revolution.
And Lynn is just like, all right, well, go ahead.
Me?
Well, yeah.
I punch things. But I guess you punch things too. Becky?
Don't look at me. I just punch things.
Why did they send 3 punchy people?
You picked us, didn't we? Didn't you?
Did I?
Nobody really sent us. We just kind of went with you.
Okay, well, let's just go tell them. Hopefully punching Nazis is enough for them to join. What does the city look like?
I mean, it's probably like a smaller town, so like maybe something like Clinton, but like half the size. So it's like definitely like not near a main highway or anything like that. What's that?
Like all the people a lot more like closer together.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're taking up just a particular space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a pretty normal, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like
A shanty
like
town.
yeah, I guess that works. Yeah.
Okay, so I take it they don't have like walls or defenses.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, very yeah, kind of a less organized, I guess, in that sense. Not very secure.
Okay, we walk in.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you guys kind of walk in, and I think it's kind of like we get like a Wild West town kind of a vibe as you're walking in. You guys kind of like walk down the like center of the street, and like people are like looking out the windows at you and like glancing at you guys as you walk by and like going inside, that kind of a thing.
We walk into the bar and we throw open the saloon doors that they just for some reason happen to have in what state are we in?
We're in Montana, right?
Yeah, Montana.
Yeah, Montana.
I bet they have saloon style doors in Montana. That's perfect.
So Jared.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So you like go into the saloon basically. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was gonna ask you. I'm sorry. When back in your bounty hunter days, you had like black armor, right? You're like,
yep.
Okay, and now you have white armor in contrast. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, just double checking on that. So I think yeah, you like go into like one of like the town center areas, right? Mm-hmm. Probably like the main bar or whatever it is that they like congregate in, and you walk in and everybody just kind of looks at you, and like kind of clears out. Like some people like go to the other side of the room and like just kind of back away from you. Some people like walk past you out. Like everybody's just trying to stay away from you. Like you're really bad news.
Mm-hmm. I walk up to the bartender. I'm like, whiskey on the rocks. And then I put down a gold coin.
No, you don't do that. You reach into your pocket and find that you don't have a gold coin and don't know what to put on the counter.
What do we use for currency?
Well, bartering.
I put a couple bullets on the counter.
Okay, yeah. And the guy's like, okay. And like grabs them and is just like, what are you doing here exactly? Are you here to cause trouble?
No.
Okay.
Is that the impression I gave? Oh, I've already messed up.
he like pours you a little glass, and it's like a very small amount of whiskey. And like puts it in front of you.
I give it to Lynn because I'm not drinking that.
Okay. and Lynn just downs it like nothing and puts it down on the counter, and it's just like glancing around and like whispers to you, Jared, like, I think they think we're like, I don't know, I feel like a police officer. Don't you?
Maybe I don't. I'm definitely getting the impression they don't like us already.
And the bartender guy is just like, are you staying?
Potentially. You guys have been having any problems with the Germans lately?
The Germans?
Yeah.
Is that like a bounty or something like that? You guys are bounty hunters, right?
Formally, yes.
Like formerly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying formally, like.
I'm a very formal bounty.
Yeah, formal bounty hunter. So they're like, the bartender's like, formerly.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. You haven't seen it. People haven't been coming to bother you from the big military base, a couple of miles north. Wait, south. I don't know which X we went
Southeast.
to.
It don't matter yet. South, let's say.
Okay.
No. We just kind of mind our own business, and we're a small town. Anyway, I mean, well, I don't know how to put this, but the town is kind of like looks around. If you want a bounty, if you're looking to help out, and talk to James. He's a couple doors east of here. There's some business he'd like to discuss with you.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Gil's just dying.
Is he like the mayor? The mayor?
Does his name happen to be Rothgar by chance?
No, Caleb. Goodness gracious. Calm down. He says, no, he's just the bravest of us all. He could point you in the right direction of the bounty. He speaks very quietly.
Okay. And then I just leave. I'm like, this is going a lot differently than I thought it would.
You say that to Lynn and Becky?
Yeah.
Becky's like, yeah, this is the freaking weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
So I think
walk to James, I guess.
Yeah. So I think you go and knock on the door, and I think we cut back to you, David.
Yeah. So he had just said that a person came and infected them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I just nod and I'm like, it was the same guy the first time too. The nukes don't normally do that to animals, believe it or not. That was his doing. This is doing this time too.
You know who this is?
Yeah. I mean, I almost killed him, a month ago? Was it a month ago? It's a while ago now, right?
A month and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
I think. But something like that.
Yeah, well, long story short, he got away. And his group is in an air base some direction from here. And I've come to try and find people to help me kill him. Well, and everybody else there, I suppose.
Are you serious?
They've got a handful of nukes there. This time I have a feeling it's not going to be the animals that get mutated when the bombs land.
Nukes? They have nukes? They have access to nukes? They can use them?
Well, I don't know how far along they are, but they wouldn't be there if they couldn't.
And I think there were a few people kind of standing around the campfire as Randy's talking to you, and now there's more people as he's said they have nukes, and so people a lot of people have kind of gathered around now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they're waiting for something, working on something. I'm not sure, but all I know is we don't have a lot of time, and our group isn't big enough to storm the place on our own.
I mean, if what you're saying is true, then I don't know. I think we'll have to talk it over.
Of course.
And I think Randy kind of goes over and they have a big meeting basically. Mm-hmm. And Liz and Alyssa kind of looking around awkwardly, and because there are still kind of some people kind of keeping an eye on you guys as they're kind of listening in. And Liz is just this is so messed up.
It's just a glimpse of what the world will look like in a minute if we don't do this. Don't do this right. I mean, we haven't even seen what it looks like yet, but
I never thought that my life would be this. How do I put it? Important. And she looks up at you.
Sorry, Liz said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He shakes his head. It's me neither. Maybe they won't be. We'll see.
Well, let's hope they want to help us save the world.
Well, it's either that or let everybody die like that, them included. World's on its last legs already. If more bombs drop, well, I mean, I don't think it'll change the outcome, but it'll certainly get here a lot faster.
Alyssa turns to you, David, and is just like, fight the long defeat, right?
Something like that.
Seems like you really believe that motto.
Well, it might be a bit generous. I don't know how long the defeat's going to take, but might as well go out with your finger up, your middle finger up. Huh?
She kind of frowns and is like, that's an odd way of putting it, and kind of glances at Liz like, hopefully she doesn't pick up on that. And Liz puts up her middle finger and is like, what does this mean exactly?
There you go. She's got the idea. Just don't explain it.
And I think some of the people over at the meeting are kind of like frown
at Liz. I'm like, don't let your mom see that.
My middle finger? She's seen it before.
Well, maybe just don't let her see it by itself, huh? I just like fold it back
down. Yeah, so I think Randy kind of comes back over, and like well, not just Randy, but like a bunch of other people come back over, and Randy says, I think, well, we voted, and we're willing to help you. I think we just like to ask something of you first.
Yeah.
We're worried about what will happen to the people we leave behind here, considering how close we are to the city. And well, we also want to take our city back, and we don't quite have the will to. If you know what I mean. If you're
worried about leaving people behind, then don't. We have a camp. And I mean, I imagine wherever you came from probably isn't safe going back to. I know that's hard to hear, but I'm sure none of you are strangers to leaving everything behind and moving on.
Well, that's the thing, is we'd like to ask if you could clear it out for us as a favor for a favor.
You want me to burn it down?
No, we want our friends and family to be laid to rest, and we don't quite have the will to pull the trigger.
I see. Well,
we would help, but that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
You could do that for us. I mean, we want to help. This is what we decided on, our price.
Well,
if they've done this to us, I mean, we don't need you to ask us to seek revenge, to seek justice. We just...
Well, I'm no stranger to that sort of thing, but you have a way for me to avoid being infected. I'm not interested in coming out looking like them, if you know what I mean. Won't do me much good either. Sort of defeats the purpose on my end.
Infected? No, it doesn't spread like that. You should be safe as long as you're shooting them from a distance.
Well, if it doesn't spread like that, then how did it spread? How did he spread it?
Well, with some gas grenades.
Well,
I mean, I guess we don't know for sure that if you walked back in there, that there wouldn't still be some sort of lingering something, but I don't think that's quite how it works. I don't know.
any of you have a respirator?
I don't know. Let's say yes. Let's just say yeah. To make things simple, yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need to be pretty. Just needs to do the job.
It's pink. No, I'm just kidding.
Fine. It's the apocalypse. You work with what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, that'll have to do, I guess. I'll strap it on.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's actually pink.
I'm fine with that.
Why not?
Yeah, and then I look back at those and realize I'm like, you two stay here.
They both kind of look at you like, no, I think. And Alyssa's like, do you have more than one? And I think they like scrounge and look for something, and they do find a couple more. And they're like, I don't know if you're comfortable with them going. I suppose I should give them to you. And Alyssa like walks up and takes one from him, and is like, he's not the leader here. And like puts one on and is like, I'm coming with you. This is target practice for me. And like glances over at Randy and the rest of them and is like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you're a grown woman. Just make sure target practice doesn't turn into, something else. And I look at Liz and I'm like, but you, what's her mother's name?
Helen,
thank you. I was kept thinking Hannah, but I knew it wasn't right. But you, Helen, would kill me if anything happened to you. So
she's like, yeah, leave me with the strange group of strangers instead. That's much safer.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be able to find you if they feel like it. You're not like adept at disappearing.
She's like, mm-hmm. And what'll stop me from disappearing and reappearing next to you when you leave?
Well, I'll tell your brother that's what's stopping me.
And she like stands up and takes the respirator, and Randy like holds onto it for a second, and like Liz just like tears it out and like kisses at him. And it's like, listen, David, we both know that as soon as you walk away, I'm going to reappear right next to you. So let's just cut the bull crap and just let me come with you for once.
Well, don't be surprised if those tricks don't work on whatever we're fighting. So keep your distance.
Fair enough. And Randy's like, okay, but thank you very much. There are no words to describe our sorrow and our gratitude.
You don't need to thank me. I understand. You're doing me a favor too. If you can help me kill that guy, then you'll be returning the favor.
He nods.
Probably don't call him a guy, but
yeah,
we're a nice podcast.
So. Okay, so cut back over to Jared then again.
Yeah.
So, do you actually knock on the door? Or I guess I just assumed that you knock on the door.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Okay. So somebody opens it and it's just like, yeah, what do you want?
Are you James?
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that?
I already don't like this guy. No, the bar guy told me to come over here. And
he like,
there's a bounty or something.
He like looks around and he's like, come inside.
Okay.
He like brings you inside and there's like one chair like in the room. And he like motions for one of you three to sit on it.
I don't sit on it.
Yeah. And Lynn and Becky do. And Becky wins and goes and sits on the chair. And I assume you and Lynn just sit on the floor, or
I stand.
Okay, yeah. So and Lynn sits down and then sees that you're standing and just kind of stands back up and thinks like we're supposed to look intimidating or something like that. And James just stands as well and says, yeah, sorry, it's not a very hospitable room, but you work with what you got. Well, anyway, yeah, nobody else is, I don't know, stupid enough or brave enough, depending on how you look at it, to talk about the fact that we have somebody controlling our town.
Somebody
Anybody talk? Yeah.
One person.
Well, I'd assume it's one person. We don't know for sure. And we don't really know who it is. That's the problem. So people talk like, well, I don't know. Did you guys ever watch Harry Potter?
No.
Before the apocalypse.
No.
Oh, well, that doesn't help. I mean, can't really think of anything that similar to that. I guess I'm really struggling with metaphors here.
Have either of the sisters ever watched Harry Potter?
Sure. Yeah. Let's say
move us along. Do you really not see Harry Potter, Drew?
Not before this would have taken place.
Okay.
The nukes.
Yeah.
So Lynn is like, yeah, I think I saw that once, and he's like, Voldemort, right? Yeah. He who must not be named. That's kind of how it is here. And she's like, okay. He's like, yeah, I think everybody just kind of thinks that, well, he could be anywhere, or she, or them. I don't know. And so nobody likes to talk about it or deal with the problem. At one point, there was a little group of people that decided they were going to find this murderer, this serial killer, and try to take him out. But, well, they all died. They killed off one by one. Nobody can figure out who did it.
To find out if it's this guy.
What's that?
I want to roll empathy to find out if it's this guy.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'll just roll for him.
Oh, so he's lying? Is he rolling deceit?
Oh, yeah, I guess this would be just like a static thing.
Well, I mean, if he's deceiving me, I think it would be would it be a contested thing?
It would be contested if he's deceiving you.
He would probably just make it flat anyway, so that we don't know if he's deceiving you.
I mean he kind of already said it.
Difficulty 3.
Okay. Does Becky or Lynn? Well, I know Lynn. Does Becky have empathy?
No.
3.
Yeah, you believe him.
Oh, okay. I believe that it's not him.
Yeah, you believe that he's not deceiving you or anything like that.
Oh wait, I should have asked. Are you the guy?
You ask him that?
Yeah.
Straight up?
Yeah.
You don't have to make an empathy roll, right?
Well, this is what I do anyway.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you just say, "Are you the guy?
Are you the Voldemort?"
He's like, no. What part of that did you think made me Voldemort?
So I can tell he's big true.
Yeah, he's not lying to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it could be anyone, it could even be you. It could be me.
Okay. Okay. I see that's how this is gonna go. Well, anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Do you have any?
I have a bounty for you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you right now what I want the reward to be.
Okay, sure.
All right. I tell him the entire plot of the campaign. I'm just like, Becky, you give him the chair. This is gonna take a while. he's gonna need to sit for this.
Yeah. So I think we just like chop cut, and the sun through the window was like in a different place, and he's just like Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't think I quite get it. And then we like cut again, and it's like the sun's in a different place again.
Wait, could you repeat the last half of that?
Yeah. And he's just like, so Germany is still a country.
Yes and no.
And then we like jump cut just a little bit. And this time, like Linda's explaining some of it as well. And he's just like, and you two are twins. Okay. Yeah, I think I got everything then. Yeah,
and
that's
it cuts
pretty
later,
weird.
and he's like, "Wait, and you didn't understand it? You didn't get that she liked you."
Wait, what?
And then it cuts. He's like, "Wait, and you were so dense you didn't understand what she was saying." And then,
David, I rolled so many empathy checks and failed so many times.
So yeah, I think he's just like,
and Lynn's just nodding, like, "Yeah, I know." I'm just kidding,
I think he's just like, I mean, I think that if you killed this serial killer, that everybody would just be very grateful. So
grateful enough to help me punch some Nazis.
I certainly hope so. I mean,
Right.
I'll vouch for you guys. I think it's
who
I mean, if we don't stop him, we could all die.
Are you like the mayor?
Oh no, we don't really have a mayor. The mayor's dead.
Oh,
we haven't really made a leader since then because
they just get Voldemort.
They just get killed.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Avada Kedavra would be the phrase there, but you never saw it, so.
Gazoon tight.
Nope. That's not it.
It's not even Latin. Come on.
Okay, so
I guess I'll go find Voldemort. I'll see you later.
So you like close the door, and he's just like, or before you close the door, he's like, "Bye, thanks for coming over." And you like close the door, and Linda's just like, "Yeah, this is the weirdest thing we've ever done."
Only have one bar stool.
Okay, so then I think we cut to you, Caleb. What's going on in Caleb Town?
Something crazy, guys. Something crazy.
Do you want to just make a roll to just try to infiltrate? Because you're just by yourself, right? Do you tell Helen or Clarence or Mr. Lang or anybody else?
I should.
Ryan.
I mean,
if you fail this roll, nobody has any idea where you are.
So Mr. Lang and Emily know.
Yep.
I will probably tell one person at base camp in quotations.
Helen, Clarence, or Ryan. So obviously Ryan, right?
No. I'll tell Clarence.
Okay.
So can I just catch him alone?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, because I would want it to be like no one else even knows that I came back, right? Except for Clarence, and then Emily.
Roll stealth.
Obviously. I was hoping you would just let me do it, but okay.
Difficulty, I don't know. Who has the highest notice here? Probably a 2.
Okay.
But they can all give each other help. Nice. Just so you know.
But I could just wait until one of them
I think
goes
it's a 2.
alone. Okay. Yeah, there you go. 3. Take that.
Okay, so yeah, so you sneak up on Clarence and put a hand on his shoulder or something like that?
Yeah. And I'm like, Clarence?
Oh, my weak heart. Don't do that.
I didn't think that through. Hey, so I didn't go on the mission.
Oh.
And I just want to tell you, just so someone here knows what I'm about to do. You're not going to be able to talk me out of it. I think it will...
You're going Rambo?
Suicide's not the answer, Caleb. Don't do it.
Not exactly.
Listen, we have a plan. Just stick to the plan, man.
I think I can improve.
Figure out it. How did I do his voice before?
Just think old man. It's fine. He would.
Oh yeah. This is his voice, I think. Yeah,
pretty much.
Something like this.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say, just so if I can pull this off, I think it'll almost guarantee our victory here. But I didn't want anyone to freak out about it. Honestly, I didn't think about it until we'd already left. I'm going into the base again, the military base. I'm going to infiltrate it, and I'm going to find Matthew.
Matthew?
And
Why?
Because he's the linchpin in all of this. Me and David and him, we had a connection there for a minute. And if I can tap into that connection again, if I can get him on our side, I think our chances of victory go from like 15% to at least 65.
And how are you going to get him out? I mean, let's say you can find him, but what do you do after that?
I don't know if I get him out so much as I set up a conversation between the two of us. Maybe a storage closet somewhere. Just briefly.
Just gonna get some information out of him and then just leave?
No, I want to recruit him. I want to find out why he went with them, and if it was, well, it's entirely possible he just got kidnapped. He just got taken by them. I don't know what's going on in Matthew's head right now, but if I can turn him, if I can prick that obviously guilt-ridden conscience of his, then maybe I can do something more than just recruit a bunch of guerrilla fighters. And if I can't do that, then I'll just kill him.
His face goes very grim and he's like,
I don't say that because I'm bloodthirsty,
Okay.
Clarence. I say that because it might be my only way out.
or maybe using him as a hostage would be your only way out.
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
I don't know, he just went from talked to recruit to slit his throat in the closet. Sounds pretty drastic.
Well, if I let him know that we're even there, if someone in the base knows that we're here, I can't let that happen. So if it comes down to Matthew reveals everything to them, or Matthew is dead in a storage closet with a slit throat, I know which one I will choose.
He shrugs. All right, well, just so you know, I won't be able to keep this from Helen. I don't lie to my daughter.
You don't need to say anything to her. But if it comes up, I'm not asking to lie. Just
wanted you to know. That's
Okay.
fine.
as long as you're not going to immediately tell her.
Nope, wouldn't do that.
Can I roll an
He
empathy
smiles
check?
at you. No, he's telling the truth.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just being funny.
I smile and I say, all right, well, here goes something, I think. And I take a step away and then I look back and I'm like, Clarence, I made you a promise.
And that was what was that exactly?
I just kind of chuckle to myself and I'm like, I'll be back. And then I leave.
Okay, was that the promise that you'll be back? I'm not.
I do the Garwin wave. I just go dismiss wave.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Caleb, make a stealth roll to end all stealth rolls. Difficulty 6.
Okay, yep. Saw that coming. I have 2 fate points, right?
And this is just to get into the facility in the basement.
Yeah. Because I assume that's where Matthew's going to be, so. Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
Can I have a compel
Okay.
to do this? Like, the reason I'm doing this is because if nobody starts, others cannot follow. Like, I'm taking a drastic risk here because... Can I get an extra fate point? Okay.
That makes sense.
Sweet.
As long as David and Jared are cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna die, so it seems fair.
That was my thought too.
Let him die.
All right. Difficulty 6.
Yep.
I still have a 4 in stealth. This actually isn't that difficult. With 3 fate points. I mean, you have fate points too, but I can get a good roll here. Okay, here we go, folks. Okay. 4. I got the most average roll I could have gotten.
Okay, good.
I'll go ahead and spend a fate point on if nobody starts, others cannot follow. Makes sense. I'm at 6. Do you spend any fate points?
No, I'm gonna create an aspect here.
Just like
I was meant for a life somewhere else. You're not German. Yeah. I thought of a funny way to say I don't belong here, and that's immediately what I thought of. Is that little paint thing, little paint YouTube video? I'm from the underground. I was meant for a life somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway, nobody's gonna understand that except for like the 12 people that watched that one YouTube video.
Mm-hmm. And they're not gonna watch this one, so
nope. So yeah, Caleb, how do you do this though? How do you get there?
Good question. Well, we still have the key, right? Yeah, remember the plan to infiltrate it, which we're still in theory gonna do. I'll just go ahead and take the key for that.
So okay, Caleb, think about this though. Oh wait, you got a 6, right? So you tied with it, right? Okay, the minor cost, Caleb, is that the you have to leave the key card behind.
Okay, I got a decision here, guys.
I mean, like, to be honest, as long as they know who the key card belonged to, it probably wouldn't work anymore because they would probably revoke its access.
Yeah, so maybe it works once.
Yeah, so maybe
and then
once you use it, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we can't let this guy's card."
Well, maybe not. Maybe not even that, because that would probably tip them off immediately. And I succeeded on the stealth roll. I think maybe what it is, Connor, is I managed to use the key card just before they actually revoke the access. But if I try to use it again, it's not going to work anymore. Because for whatever they
feel like that's a major cost though, because you don't know. I was thinking you drop the key card down the elevator or something like that.
Well, but either way, David's making a good point. Someone's going to notice that he's gone and revoke the access. Right. Like that's a thing.
Right.
So, and I think honestly, maybe I think the why it's a minor cost is I think of that. Like this is me knowing.
Yeah. Or you can have it just be like you open one door and then it won't open the second door because it's been revoked, but there's just a big window and you just kick the window in, go in anyways, or something. I mean, yeah, it's up to you, I guess.
Yeah, again, I want to succeed on the stealth roll, so no one notices that I'm there, and I don't break anything that would be immediately obvious. But I think the cost being the key doesn't work anymore is fine, right? That makes sense to me as a minor cost.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
But then I think I think I take it knowing, like, you know what, if we were gonna wait 3 days anyway, this key there's no way they're not gonna revoke access for this thing in 3 days. Like, so I'm gonna use this now, and I'll grab another one on the way out, sort of thing, right?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So now what, Caleb?
So I am in the base. I'm dressed as the guy. Like I'm just wearing his officer's uniform.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, I guess you're gonna roll an investigation to look for Matthew, I guess is what I'm doing.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, just like scope the place out. I'm terrible in investigating.
I definitely think the difficulty is a 6.
Really?
Yes.
Yeesh. Any chance I could use an empathy or a notice on this instead of investigate?
I think to create advantages, yes.
What is it you're trying to do? Trying to find him?
I'm trying to find Matthew. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So yeah, let's do some creative advantages here to build up some bonuses. So basically this is me just watching, right? I play the part of the same sort of person I was before. So maybe I don't dress up in the officer's uniform, even though I use his key card, and then I probably just get rid of it as soon as it's not useful anymore. So I do drop it down the elevator, but it's on purpose this time. and I act like the soldier who is just following orders, right? So I help out with, I'm like just walking around that basement area, acting like I'm going somewhere important, right? And so I'm carrying a box or whatever, right? So I'm never like standing around. But if anyone, like, if there's anything going on, I just step up and like just help out with what, like, I'm just kind of like blending in with what's going on just to get a scope of the place. So first, I guess I'll roll a notice just to, like, you know, be on the lookout for any tidbits of information or, you know, doors that maybe lead where I need to go, that sort of thing first.
Okay.
What's the difficulty for that?
I think a 3.
Okay. 3. There you go. This is creating an advantage, so it's not a minor cost. It's just I get it, but with 1.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me how this helps you.
I mean, this is just.
Or do you want me to tell you how this helps you?
I mean, this is just me like paying attention to my surroundings, right? So like I see someone. Maybe I see Mark go in a door or something, right?
Yeah. With like a tray of food or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that seems suspicious. Maybe I'll go in that direction. And you like open up that next door, and you don't know where you went from there, but you have some idea. Like, it's probably in this section.
Okay, I'm gonna name this advantage marked.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, and then I'm gonna roll empathy.
See what you did there?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna roll empathy.
Call it Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, I'll do that instead. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the same joke. But...
Yeah.
No, I like mine better. Marked.
Everybody, fire at Mark.
Fire at Will. Good will hunting. Now let's get evil Santa. Anyway.
The obscure quotes tonight. On point.
So we just got to code Spatula Madness and maybe some ninja monkeys
already,
for good
granola.
measure. All right.
Okay, continue.
And then I'm gonna roll empathy to do a similar sort of thing, but with like people's emotions, obviously, right? Like noticing, because Matthew, I assume, is still crazy. So I'm looking out for anyone who, you know, some sort of thing where if someone goes in with a tray of food or those sorts of things, but like how they're reacting to like coming out of doors, like, ooh, man, the guy I just had to talk to, like looking at people's faces as they come in and out of doors. If that makes sense. Just to get a read on what doors the common soldiers or officers don't want to go in, that sort of thing.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and roll empathy. I think it's a 3 as well.
Okay. Nice. That's 2.
Okay. All right. And you wanted to make that investigate roll now?
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna call that.
Temperature of the room.
Yeah. I'll say read in the room. Okay. Mark and read in the room. Ay. So, yeah. I'm gonna look real quick and see if there's any other skill I could do. Because a 6 with investigate, I have a 0 in it. Like, this could go really badly. Can I make a rapport roll? To chat with a couple of German soldiers or officers that I hear speaking English for whatever reason, and just try to prod the conversation such that it's like, oh yeah, I've heard about the crazy guy, you know, that sort of thing.
So you can initiate that conversation. I won't let you make the roll quite yet, though.
Okay. Yeah. So I maybe a person who came out of a room and like had like a look on their face, like, oof, like I'm glad I'm out of that room.
Okay, yeah.
I just step up to him and I just say, because I probably, yeah. Anyway, I just say, they have you feeding the crazy guy. I say in a German accent.
And they frown at you and they're like, no. The crazy guy. Are you talking about Officer Genry?
I laugh and I'm like, no, not that. You haven't heard the stories?
The stories?
I like look around like furtively and then whisper. I grab him. I not grab him, but like lead him away, very just a little bit of ways, and I'm just like,
Sure.
the one guy that they brought with them, but they brought back with them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I guess you aren't in the know as much as I thought.
No, I don't think I am. What's your name again?
Crap.
Just say Wiener Schnitzel and leave.
I have to say something that will distract him from that question. I think I say... So I probably picked up at least one name since I've been down here, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So
you say you're that name, and yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. Then I'll do that then. I was going to take a slightly different route with that, but if that works, I'll just do that.
Oh, it's not going to work until you make a roll.
Say Noah. It's the most popular Germany name.
Well, so I think what I was going to do is not give him my name, but like use a name that I've heard to basically say like, yeah, Noah was telling me about the guy named Matthew. Wasn't there something wrong with his head?
Okay, yeah, you can say that. I want you to make an all the world's a stage rapport roll to deceive him, though, because you're misleading him since he asked your name.
Yep.
Difficulty 4.
Okay. There you go. 5.
Okay. Yeah. So he's like, no, I don't know who Matthew is. Are you sure are you sure are you sure this is a real person you're talking about and not just like hearing rumors?
Yeah, I guess it's just rumors. Sorry.
Yeah, this guy has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we can say that you like try a couple of other soldiers too, and yeah, nobody has any idea who Matthew is.
All right. So that's just not an avenue for me.
No, yeah.
For whatever reason, nobody knows about him.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Or, because that's the thing I'm wondering is whether or not Matthew has suddenly found his sanity, or changed his name or something, or is not even here. I don't know.
Do you want to ask? Do you want to ask like who's in charge?
I feel like if I asked that, it would immediately give away that I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I can go about that in such a way to get the names of the people who are in charge can I just make a rapport roll to basically like lead them around a conversation such that I get the names without it being obvious?
I think it's a deceive roll, but like with your rapport, basically.
Yeah, I'm still acting.
Yeah.
Difficulty?
Yeah, I think that's I think it's a difficulty 4.
Okay. There you go, 6. Boom, baby.
Okay, yeah, so you're talking with a soldier, and you probably already asked him about Matthew or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I guess he's not, like our leader. And he's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes I think John's kind of crazy, but nah, I guess
it's just a look in his eyes, really
strong
intense.
And as brutal as they come. Did you notice what he said?
Strong and as brutal as they come.
He's dead.
Oh, John.
He said John.
Oh, right. Okay, so I think even me in my like deceiving mode, in my acting mode right now, like still pause at that, and then I say, right, yeah, I guess it's the eyes, really intense.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, and then I kind of look at him and can I make the rapport roll here now to create the advantage, basically having it be like this place is like a maze. Like I know people are kept out of certain rooms, but do we even know where he lives down here? And then can I make the rapport roll to basically have this be create an advantage where maybe he doesn't know exactly, but he like actually gives me a hint as to where I could be looking.
You can definitely ask him about that, and no, he does not know. Like he can't point you in that direction. There's no way.
Can he point me? Can I make the rapport roll that he points me in the direction of someone who does know?
You know what? No, I think he can give you the general direction. You can do it. A general direction of like where the quote unquote leader.
This is just creating an advantage, right? This is
because yeah.
Yeah, this is just me getting more advantages, not like finding out where he is. So
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Difficulty.
4.
There you go. 6.
Dang.
These rolls are not going to hold, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll hold as long as it can. Anyway. Yeah, so I think they kind of give you a general direction.
How long do you need? As long as you can give me.
That's what I was trying to reference. I couldn't figure out how. Yeah. So I think it gives you a general direction, and you just start walking that way.
And then I'm going to make the investigation roll. And with basically my goal now is to find John, right? Because I'm assuming Matthew has just taken over the role of John, because that seems like the most likely, because they would probably know who Mark and Luke were, and they wouldn't be able to pretend they're John. But someone else probably could, which would be Matthew. Okay, so.
And I think just to kind of point you in the right direction, since you kind of gleaned information from him, like they describe John as like a Dalinar stature kind of guy, which Matthew is not.
Matthew is not? Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, also I get, because that was a great advantage, I get 2 free invokes on
it. Here's Johnny?
Question mark.
That's funny.
Okay, so my then if that's the case, then if they say that, then my investigation roll is still going to be to find Matthew.
Give me 1 sec. My doorbell just rang. I'm assuming Nikki is home and doesn't have a key. So yeah, go ahead and describe what you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
The plan would be find Matthew, and then maybe that in and of itself will tell me what's going on with John if I find him. Because yeah, if John is described in a way that doesn't look like Matthew, then I'm not going to worry about changing my goal here. I'll just try to find Matthew, and if I find out who's actually in charge, then that will be a bonus. But well, guys, it's been nice playing with you. We'll see if my rolls hold out here. Connor still has 3 fate points. He doesn't have any free invokes though, so that's nice. And I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free invokes and 2 fate points. So I think I can pull this off. But we'll see. It would be awesome if I just got a 4 on investigate.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Do we want to start a betting pool? Who's guessing that I'm gonna fail here?
What's your investigate modifier?
0.
Oh,
You're failing.
And you need a 4.
I need a 6.
Failed. There's no way.
Well, I mean, he has fate points, but
I have 5 free invocations and 2 fate points.
Oh, you have 5 free invocations. Never mind, you literally can't fail. All right.
Yeah.
But Connor also has 3 fate points.
No, he only has 1 because there's only 1 PC in the scene.
Oh, that's true. Right. Forgot about that.
He just has 1 for each scene is all.
Yep.
For all of us.
Yep. Cool. Well, Connor's still not gotten back, so I guess Crusader Kings? Question mark.
Okay.
Caleb finds a terminal with Crusader Kings in it.
I just get distracted.
But okay, the nukes will be there tomorrow. That's fine.
I wouldn't even know what Crusader Kings was. I hadn't played it in 2015, so.
Even CK2?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
Really?
It was 2016 or 2017, one of those.
Huh. It's a longer time ago than I thought.
I mean, it came out 2012 and then had DLCs and stuff for it all the way through
Right.
2018. But I just hadn't discovered it. I don't even remember
funny.
what the first Paradox game I found out about was. It might have been Stellaris. I think it was Stellaris,
Interesting.
which came out 2016. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. Random video game chat on Orphans of the American Dream.
Yep. Gotta get that quality content in there. Yeah.
I see movement in the background. I'll just cut this out. when I put together the video.
Somebody's watching.
Okay, sorry.
Yo,
Back.
welcome back. We just had a riveting chat about Crusader Kings. So
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what did you decide you were doing?
yeah, so
I'm gonna stop at a computer and play Crusader Kings.
no, so I'm gonna find Matthew, right? That's my investigation role.
Right.
Given one last thing I needed to ask though is given my the descriptions I was given of Mark and Luke, does that sound familiar to one of them? Okay, so it's someone else entirely or a fake, just a figurehead at this point. Okay. All right, cool. Then I'm not interested in that. I'm just gonna find Matthew. So here we go. Investigation at a 0, but I also have 5 free invocations and 2 fate points. So I don't even think this is possible for me to fail because I can just spend enough.
Caleb, you got 6s on those, not 7s. The difficulty was 4. You have to get 3 over.
It's 3 over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my bad.
I just noticed that.
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
how did you get 5 free invokes?
Yeah, so I only have 3 and 2 fate points. Still, I think I think I can make it work.
Well, as long as you get a 0, you're good, even without spending fate points. So you could succeed if you got 2 -4s, or if you got a -4 as your total roll.
You also have 1 fate point you can use against me. So
yes, because you're only one person.
Because I'm only the only person in the scene. Yeah. At first, I thought it was 3, and then David reminded me. So, okay, investigate. Difficulty 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not bad.
Use all 3 of your invokes and.
3, 5. Yeah, that's. I'll just spend all my invokes and get it to a 7.
Okay, yeah. So
you
kind of go. Point? What's that?
You're not gonna spend that fate point?
No.
Sweet.
You kind of go over to like just like a far side, and actually no, it's probably towards the center.
Mm-hmm.
You pass some like bigger rooms and whatnot, and you like kind of like go down some stairs where it's like, don't go down here, and like nobody else is going down there, and you come to like a hallway with like some office rooms, and you like listen in at some of them, and in one of them you hear Matthew's voice, and we'll cut from there to David.
Sweet. Yeah.
So David, I assume that you just kind of go to the city.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll like a notice check to climb a tree or something like that to kind of get a vantage point to see what's going on?
Sure. Try to get a feel for the layout and stuff.
This train advantage or
5? Yeah. Sorry, I should have asked you.
That's okay. I had already said it in my head as 3.
Okay. Cool.
So you kind of climb a tree, I think, and or unless you have something else you'd describe climbing.
No, that's fine.
Like a giant or something like that. Like mountain. I don't know. No, so you climb a tree and
Spawn a giant. It's fine.
yeah. And you kind of look over the city, and it looks exactly like the radiation sickness for animals has just spread to humans. There are people with like their skin falling off and their like muscle just like kind of looks like it's kind of like cramping as it like comes out of their body and is like expanding, and it just looks awful. But the people themselves don't like, they're not, they're it's like they're vegetables, but they're like walking around
So they're like
and
zombies,
doing
basically.
things. Yeah, but they aren't like gnawing at their teeth or like looking for brains to eat. They're just not acting
wandering.
right. Yeah, they're just wandering. They're and like you see some weird things, like of some people like there's one guy with like a chisel and a hammer, and he's just like pounding into this house over and over again, and his hands are like all bloody and raw, and he just keeps hitting it over and over and over again. And there's somebody with a like when you can kind of see through your scope who has like this empty mug that's like broken, and they keep putting it in their mouth to like drink water, and there's just nothing there, and their like mouth is bleeding because it's the mug is cutting their lip.
Right.
And you just see weird stuff like that. Like they have like a semblance of humanity and like community of what they would normally do, but they're just not acting right.
Yeah.
They're all just doing weird things.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he probably said something like I guess that's strange. It's like their minds are still working, but they're aimless. Well, let's put these people to rest, guys. And I'll just so like the idea was I wanted to find the like the best choke points that had an escape route that I could use to lure groups to, you know. So basically, I want to find like narrow streets that where I won't be closed off if I stand at the end of it.
Yeah.
And just start making noise.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually, I might. Is there any debris or like? Is there anything around I can move around, like move into the way of little out like back roads and things like that? Like I can try and close off other exits to this area.
What do you mean by that?
Like, is there stuff I can throw in the way, like the overturned bed or something, in the way of like back roads and stuff, so that this main road is the only one they can come down, and they can't like move around to the side of me?
Yeah, that makes sense. Or you'll like push a broken car in the way or something like that.
Yeah. So could I use athletics or physique or whatever to create an advantage of,
I think physique.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for an advantage.
How difficult would that be?
I think difficulty 3.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so that's one advantage there, or a free invoke, I should say.
There you go. I put them over here on my sheet.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Kill zone and dead end. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And then I think I want to make you like just make one big roll, obviously, rather than doing all of that. So I think
right. I do get better at shooting the more that I do it, but that's okay.
Yeah. I think the difficulty is going to be 8 to clear everybody out, but I think you get a +1 from Liz and from Alyssa helping you out.
Okay. So this is just an overcome roll, so I'm not getting any of my stuff to it, right?
Right.
Okay. Never mind. It's fine.
What's that?
It's fine. I got it.
Oh, I didn't see that
Actually,
you rolled.
I mean, I might as well spend both of these and succeed with style,
Okay, yeah.
because then I can make narrative statements, and I can basically just say like, I mean, I guess I'll let you narrate as far as you want, and then you can decide when.
Well, so I'm assuming you like shoot off in the air or something like that, right? And try to get people to come close to you.
Yeah, it's like they're probably mulling around for the noise that I made already, and I get Alyssa and Liz in position, and then I probably like shoot like there's not a lot of things you can shoot that actually explode when you shoot them. Probably just shoot a car, and like the car alarm goes off, right?
Sure, yeah.
And I guess it's batteries miraculously still alive. And then I just wait for them to come towards me.
Yeah, so I think definitely some people like start coming towards you. And they don't seem like aggressive though. They seem like they're just drawn to it.
Right. Like there's a stimulus and they're just moving
Yeah.
towards it. Yeah.
And then I'm assuming you just start picking them off.
Yeah. Yep. I'm at the moment I have like my sniper rifle and I just shoot one in the head and then another one. And then I tell so I assume that Alyssa and Liz both have like handguns, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like I say wait till they get closer, don't waste your ammunition. I'll keep them at bay, and then when they get closer, open up. Don't let them reach us.
Okay, yeah. So they're both down with that, and it becomes a point where they start realizing you're an enemy and start rushing at you, and then it becomes a problem, and then it's
then I'm like, all right,
lots of shooting, and
and then I probably switch to my pistol and just start laying into them. And I think like it probably, because we're summarizing it, so the way we are, it probably zooms out to like the mouth of the town where I've set up this trap, and there's just a light show happening basically.
Yeah.
And probably lots of zombie screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like the shooting starts to slow and then it stops. And then we cut back in and there's just like a gigantic mound of dead. It's like, I mean, it's not like World War Z because there was like 2 billions of them, but you know how they like piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's like a big barricade of dead bodies.
Yep. And there are still like some muscles that are like still spinning in their bodies and stuff like that. But and they're like, some of them are still like twitching, but they're dead. And I think Liz and Alyssa like look disturbed. And I think Alyssa pukes. Like that was very gross and difficult.
Yeah.
And it was like dangerous. Like they did start running, and it was a dangerous situation. But
like we're probably like a few dozen meters back further than we were originally. Like we had to start moving back out of the town and stuff to like not get overrun. I look at Listen, I'm like, this was good practice. It's harder to kill a real person.
I think Alyssa looks at you and is just like, great. And pukes again. And Liz goes over and like pats her on the back. It's like, it gets easier.
Yeah. It's like, it's better to learn now than when they're shooting back at you.
Yeah. And I think Liz kind of walks over, or I think Alyssa says, I think I just need a moment, and kind of walks off by herself. And Liz comes over to you, David, and just kind of sits down.
Don't go too far. We don't know if they're in the periphery.
She nods.
Perimeter.
Yeah.
Perimeter.
Yeah, perimeter. Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. Any on the perimeter. She nods, but she kind of goes off by herself and like sits up against a tree, kind of a thing, and is just breathing. And Liz comes and sits next to you and looks at all the dead bodies, and it's just like, yeah, this is pretty gross. I don't really blame her.
Yeah, well, it's something. I guess I just played enough zombie games. Smells a lot worse than I would have thought,
though. She says, she waits for a while. It's kind of quiet, and she says, I can't wait for this to all be over.
What do you mean?
Well, I've been thinking about, how much killing you do and all that, and, just how it affects you. It kind of makes you, I don't know, kind of a bad person sometimes.
Well,
And
it's
I
like you
just,
said, you get used to it.
well, and that's what I was thinking is I'm really excited for all this to be over, is that you can just be David again.
What makes you think it's gonna end?
Well, once we clear out the base and stop the nukes and beat the prophets, all that stuff that's, seems unlikely that we'll succeed without all dying, but
Then I suppose all the other bad people in the world will just give up and go home.
she kind of thinks on that for a while and like chews her lip. So you're still going to be this David then?
This is the only one that's left, or I guess it's all that's left. There'll be a day when it's over, but I won't be around when it does. When it happens.
Okay. And then I think there's a few more moments of like silence. And she asks a very daring question. She says, "Were you like this when your wife was alive?"
Well, I don't think any of us are the same people we were back then. But that's why I told you to find your own person. Don't be like me.
I'm not trying to be like you anymore.
I know.
I'm trying to help you, fix you, so you don't have to. I don't know. Sometimes I envy her and like nods to Alyssa. She still pukes when she sees dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of you, but he points at the like mangled wall corpses, and he's like, "That's what I look like on the inside. There's no use giving CPR to a corpse. It's just a waste of breath."
Isn't that
But
what fight the long defeat means?
oh, I'm not a philosopher, but pretty sure fight the long defeat just means, don't die laying down. Yeah. Even if it's inevitable, take what you can with you. Maybe that's not what it means, but that's my plan.
And I think she mulls it over for a while, and then she sounds surprisingly like intelligent, and she kind of puts it together, and she's like, "Well, if inside you're a mangled corpse, and fighting the long defeat is fighting while standing, and wouldn't it be better if? Isn't it kind of like not fighting the long defeat if you're just a corpse inside?
Well,
What if you were alive and then inside? I mean, and then isn't that the best way for you to fight? To fight the long defeat of not just defeat of the enemies, but defeat of your insides?"
I'm not sure I follow.
And I don't think I really followed that either. And she like rubs her head and she's like, "I don't know. It just sometimes I feel like they already won."
Nobody won, kid. That's the point. That's the long defeat. We all lose at the end. All that matters is, I don't know, keeping the people you care about alive as long as possible. That's what I'm here for. That's why my corpse still moves. Because all of you aren't dead yet. Someday when it's just me left, I'll give up. But
Well, maybe one day, maybe if we grow closer, I don't know. Maybe one day you'll learn to love me as much as you loved your wife. And then and then you'll be alive again.
Don't put that burden on yourself, kid.
Maybe that's the kind of person I want to be. The one who picks up your burdens.
That's your choice, but the world's not kind to those kind of people. You gotta be sure that's what you want. And no, it's not going to be satisfying. Most people aren't worth that kind of effort.
I think you see an uncharacteristic tear form in her eye and like roll down her cheek, and she says, and then she like turns to you and you see that she's like crying. And she says, maybe you could help me bear it.
Hey, no, that's not fair. Quit that.
She's like, what's not fair? And then she like almost realizes that she's crying, and she like wipes her tears, and she's like, you didn't see that.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll bear that burden as best as I can. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm good for. So I'll do what I can, all I can.
She says, okay. And she kind of walks over to you, and she like punches you on the shoulder.
I ruffle her hair.
And yeah, she gets mad, and then she hugs you.
Yeah.
And she says, don't die on the outside too, okay?
Yeah, no promises. I'll try.
Okay, so I think we cut from there, and I think we'll go back to Jared. Jared, make an investigate roll.
Oh boy. Do either of the two with me have investigate?
No. I'll double check on Becky, but I know Lynn does not.
Well, what's the ob?
I think it's gonna be a 4.
Almost.
And no,
impossible.
Becky and Lynn both do
Let's
not
see.
have.
Nope, not even close.
Whoa.
Not even close, baby.
Wow. Okay.
It's like almost impossible.
So would you like to succeed at a major cost?
No.
No.
I'm gonna use a skill I'm better at.
What's that?
I'm gonna use a skill I'm better at.
Okay, so you fail. Is there GM moves for overcome fails? Like in terms of creating an advantage opposed? Or
You get a boost,
the boost?
say. But I mean, also like narratively, there's implications, right? Like the easy answer for that is he hears you asking questions and he comes to you. Right.
Yes.
I mean, that's also under the implication that I chose to do this investigate roll instead of.
Well, I mean, that's what you were doing, right? You were trying to find him.
Oh, I was going to go about it in a different way. I wasn't going to use investigate.
Oh, well, you didn't have to roll then, but you did.
You said roll investigate.
Yeah.
That was a command, not a request.
No, I thought that's what you were going to do. I didn't understand it.
How else would you have known about finding him?
Provoke
him into the open, basically?
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to. How are you going to provoke him if he's not?
I'm going to go to the center of town. I'm going to talk smack.
Okay.
Okay, I still think you did do that overcome roll. You did try investigating at first,
okay.
But unless you think that's like something Jared wouldn't even consider.
Sure, we can. I already rolled it. We can stick with that.
It's kind of already been investigating, to be honest. So,
but yeah. I kind of figured that it would be a waste of time because everyone doesn't like me and they're all paranoid.
Yeah.
So I figured with everyone as paranoid as they are, there's not much point.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah. You literally walk into the center of town, and what do you say? Are you not entertained?
I'm like, hey, Mr. Serial Killer, I heard you're kind of tough. Why don't you come out of hiding like a little? I say a lot of words that I can't say on stream. And we can just duke it out mano a mano.
Lynn's like, nice. Like she respects that.
And I assume they both have provoke as well, so they should throw in some snide remarks.
Let me double check here. Becky does not have provoke.
How dare she? What does she have?
She's got some skills. Lynn does have provoke at +3.
I'll take a +1 from her.
Add +1 to that. Yeah. And what's your goal here?
To provoke them.
To do an Almano?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is an 8.
Okay, then. I think I'm going to make this an ugly truth somehow. It's okay if you don't want to come out. I understand you're scared. I'll literally just kill you. That's an ugly truth. I'm going to kill him, right? Yeah. Is that?
No. I don't think that's
Okay.
No.
I'll just do the probe as it is.
Okay.
Like a 1 from Lynn.
Well, I mean, if you want to, Jared, if you want to do stack some created advantages, you can. You don't have to just go for the gun.
Okay, I'm gonna go from. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't. Without investigate or something like that, it's hard to.
I mean, I have empathy. That's
right. Right. Okay. Yeah. How would you use that to your advantage?
I just go up to people and be like, "Are you the Voldemort?"
Use
except not actually say that.
Right. But just like as bluntly as that, just be like, "Are you the serial killer?" And then roll empathy.
I'd be like, oh, "I found you, the serial killer," and see how they react to that.
Well, I feel like that's just an overcome roll, right? Like that's not really creating an advantage, because then you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm weeding out
person.
I'm weeding out the people that it's not. That's the advantage.
But then your provoke roll is to get them to just reveal themselves.
And you're going to just talk to every single person in the city.
Yeah.
He said it was a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
How small is it?
Maybe 300 people? Maybe 200.
That
seems like yeah.
I'm in a situation where none of my skills equate to being able to do this.
You do have a +1 to investigate. I didn't notice that. Oh no, I did notice that. Yeah.
I mean, it's still like impossible to get a 4 difficulty with a +1. So
well, I mean, there's fate points. There's succeeding at a major cost.
You don't have anything that references the fact that you used to be a bounty hunter, do you?
No, I kind of gave that up when I joined you guys.
I mean, I'll protect the innocent from the scum of this world.
So my thought would be, it would be cool, maybe if he could make a event compel to say that this person is somebody he hunted when he was a bounty hunter, and that they recognize him, and they come to him. You know,
yeah.
Just make an event compel, but you'd have to do it on an aspect, and he doesn't have one that is like. I used to hunt people. I can see maybe.
I think I'll protect the innocent from the scum of this world. Would be fine. Yeah.
David, I like the way you think. I will spend my one and only fate point to state this is a guy I've hunted before, and he wants.
Or maybe like killed his brother or something. He got away, something like that.
You know who I think it is, Jared? The person that ran in the flashback from last session.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he was in cahoots with the girl that you saw killing that, tying up that kid.
Nice. That's perfect.
Okay. Then.
So I think what that'll mean mechanically is this person is more likely to reveal himself. So maybe lowering the difficulty of the provoke roll to a 6.
Well, I mean, the way the mechanic work is to make an event compel where he's saying a thing happens based on this, and the thing that happened would be like, I mean, it doesn't have to be like he walks out into town, but it could be like, you know, maybe he sends goons after him, or he tries to like shoot him from an alleyway or something. You know, what it means is that, like,
yeah.
You know, this guy reveals himself in some way. That's the event compel. So it's just a narrative, like this event, literally. Which, I mean, you can say no to, of course, but if you're saying yes to it, then it would be like, yeah, okay, this is somebody you know, and they like, that means they're coming to you in some way. It doesn't have to be a good thing, but you can interpret that how you want. But that was sort of the suggestion, I think.
Okay, yeah. So
it could even be like he starts killing people to get your attention, and like, you know,
investigate all the bodies. That's perfect.
Yeah, basically, like, maybe the way to do it would be like he starts taunting you by killing people, and that gives you something to go on to find him, you know?
Yeah, so I think so. Jared, do you want to still make that provoke roll and see what happens?
Yeah, sure. What's the ab now?
I still think the ob is the same.
Okay. What was it?
An 8.
Okay.
This is definitely not this serial killer's MO, right?
I shouldn't have spent the stupid fate point.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my bad.
I could just succeed at a cost.
You could. And just get him to reveal himself?
Yeah, I'll just succeed at a cost. It's already 10,
okay.
15.
Okay, so Jared, this is the cost. He reveals himself, and he reveals himself right next to you with a gun to Becky's head.
How did he just show up in the middle of an open field or an open center?
You did not notice him, but he just comes up and he just grabs Becky and he just pulls him away from you, and hand over her mouth kind of a thing, gun to her head. And he's like, do you remember me?
No.
You killed my sister.
Who?
Oh, man. Okay, I think he shoots her in the foot. I think he shoots Becky in the foot.
Well, that's his turn, and I have are we initiative order now?
Yeah, I think so.
What's his notice?
Well, so I don't know if I want to do an entire battle of this.
It's okay. It would be literally one turn. You have me, Becky, and Lynn.
That means I have to create stats off the top of my head.
Give him 5 fight, make it interesting. Give him 12 fight, make it interesting.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if you want this, Jared.
You're not rolling defend, you're rolling fight. I know you have high bonuses now, but also this would probably be an overcome if you're just doing like a total.
I know. I'm being facetious.
Okay.
I don't think plus 12 is a thing, unless I'm fighting like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Connor, am I fighting a Star Destroyer like Transformer?
No. Okay. I think
good though.
Yeah, I think I just want to have you do like an overcome of like how this goes down.
Well, but the question isn't whether or not they win, right? Because I feel like there's no world where they lose this fight unless this guy is turned into a killing god on like at some point. Right. I think the question is, what happens to Becky before this fight ends, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm interested in like doing a provoke thing before I do a fight thing.
Try and create an advantage with provoke.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case he does shoot her foot, and that gives the
Can I
opportunity to do a
do
provoke
a-
roll
Okay. I'm gonna try and provoke him into shooting me instead.
instead of shooting her foot.
I think he's saying that like his sort of surprise turn is doing that, and now it's
Okay.
your turn, as it were. You can provoke him, and then hopefully his attention will be on you when you make your actual roll.
Gotcha. I say, I'm sorry, dude. I just don't know who you are. I guess you and your sister were nobodies.
Ooh.
Completely
Okay,
meaningless.
Yeah.
And now I will add my ugly truth bonus.
Okay.
Is that a lie then?
I think difficulty. Yeah, I mean, to get him to shoot you, I think it's going to be a difficulty 5.
Okay.
I think this is definitely against how he wants this to go down.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give him the joy of this going down the way he wants.
All right.
Jared knows who he is, but he knows
Right.
that this is how the best way to get at him.
Right.
I got an 8.
Holy crap.
Was it difficult?
A 6 or a 5. So you succeed with style.
Yeah, nice. So you get 2 invokes on it.
I thought Connor said this was an overcome.
This is your provoke to create an advantage.
Create an
against him,
advantage.
right?
Oh, okay.
For your actual fighting roll.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
How does he respond to that?
Yeah, he definitely takes a shot at you, right? And that gives you the opportunity to go in for your attack. And then we'll roll your fight versus, I think, his shoot.
Okay.
To see if he can kill Becky before you get to him.
Okay.
Basically ward you off long enough to kill her.
Yeah.
Since he's shooting at you. But yeah.
So am I rolling defense or?
You're just rolling an overcome the fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Is he rolling
Which I assume
shoot?
that Lynn is helping him, right?
I'm going to say she's not.
She's probably just paralyzed.
Yeah, she's paralyzed and also like doesn't want to make a move because she's afraid of what he's going to do. Like she doesn't want to make a sudden move. She's very much so frozen in this moment.
Okay.
Well, make your roll, Connor.
Yeah, you always like me to make the roll first, don't you?
I do.
I'm trying to think of the aspect here that's him.
It's more suspenseful.
Holding her hostage. Can't think of anything clever, so I'll just do gun to head. There's some aspects in here, but that I could go off of, but instead 6.
That's a good roll.
He's a better shot than I am.
I'm just going to spend the fate point. One of them.
You mean the free invoke?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And you have another free invoke as well. So
Yes,
I'm going to spend this fate point.
You might as well spend both of them because it's an overcome.
Oh, so yeah, I'm getting Connor to spend his fate point first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just mean
Well,
ultimately it'll be
it's
the same.
right.
Probably.
I'm going to spend this fate point to reroll, and we'll see what happens on the fact that he has a gun to her head.
Oh boy, you still tie though.
Yeah.
In which case, what happens there with an overcome? He has succeeded a minor cost.
A minor cost. So she probably gets. I mean, she is injured, but she probably, because again, she is sort of the stake in this fight, I think. So she probably gets hurt enough that it's, not severely, because that would have probably been like a major cost. She would have been killed or like massively hurt. This is probably lighter than that. It could also even be a thing on Lynn, right? She might have some kind of issue with her sister being in danger now.
So yeah, I think she gets like a moderate consequence or whatever. But you, right. Jared, tell me how this goes down though.
Like as he's like reeling from my comment, he shoots at her or shoots at me?
He shoots at you first, and then because of that, you go for him, and then he tries to shoot at Becky.
So he shoots at me. I easily deflect it and like charge at him, and like in a panic, he like tries running backwards with her, and they just both fall. And as he falls, he like shoots her in like the shoulder or wherever.
Okay, yeah.
The will correspond to a moderate would be.
Yeah, that's fine. Shot in the shoulder.
Okay.
So he falls over, and then what happens?
Do I get?
Because you take him out, right? Like you win. Okay. So how does this like?
Well, I kick the gun away and then break his legs and bring him to James, I guess. Well, after I, pat him down for weapons and make sure Becky is all right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think, I think you take him out, and you probably just knock him out. And what's that?
And break his legs.
And like in the moment, like you break his legs right away as well.
Yeah.
Like he's unconscious, and you just start
pounding. I know he's fast.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do that, and I think Becky is like bleeding, and she's like, "I'll be okay. I'll be okay." And Lynn freaks out. She's like, "Jared, why did you do that? Why did you charge him?" And she's like, "It's gonna be okay, Becky. It's gonna be okay." And is just like freaking out.
Is that all she says to me?
Yeah.
I knew this guy. What I did was the only reason she's not dead.
And she's like, "Yeah, well, she's bleeding out right now." And it's like putting pressure on the wound. And
well, the people here owe us now. I'm sure they'll take care of her.
That's what you're always concerned about, huh? Right? The mission, right? That's what you're always concerned about, Jared? Well, how about the people around you?
I'm doing my best here. Let's get her to a doctor. We can fight later when she's all right.
Okay, yeah. So okay. So then tell me how this plays out for you. Caught the guy, you bring him to James.
I'd throw him on the floor. I'm like, all right, you're going to help us, and you're going to get me a doctor now.
He's like, all right, let's do it. And he gets you a doctor.
Random guy.
What's that?
That was easy. You could just grab some random guy off the street.
Well, that's what.
Oh, I am a doctor.
Yeah, no, James doesn't say that. He goes and finds you a doctor, and
if he was a doctor,
helps you with Becky. And yeah, the doctor doesn't pay well anymore. But yeah, he brings you a doctor and patches up Becky, and James like goes before the people, and they like execute the guy. Right? They're like, "This is the guy that's been terrorizing us, and now we're free, and that's all thanks to Jared." And like points to you, like all like, and I think he like grabs your hand and like throws it up like in victory, like wrestling match or something like that too. He's like, "Jared," and basically tries to treat you like a hero. And the people are like, "All right, let's go follow this guy."
Oh, that was easy.
Okay, so then you just head on back.
Yeah, after making sure Becky's all right. Are we gonna play that out or?
Yeah. So you make sure Becky's all right, you said?
Oh yeah, she's the one who got shot.
Yeah, no. So she gets patched up. She's fine. Like she'll survive. The wound is treated. She'll be okay.
Okay. And then I'll make sure Lynn doesn't, hate me.
Okay, yeah. I think Lynn just doesn't talk to you.
Oh.
Like the whole trip back kind of a thing. Unless you try to like pry her out or something like that.
I mean, I do like the initial hey, like I'm sorry that your sister got shot. And I know it seems like I only care about the mission a lot of times, but the reason I care so much about the mission is so that we can all just be done. Like, I'm tired and I want this to be over with so I can just be done. Avenge my friend. Not have to worry about nukes. I'm tired. I don't know how many more tank shells I've got in me. I just want this to be done with.
And I think the only thing she says is, "Me too."
Thank goodness I didn't have to make a rapport. We cut to Caleb quick before he changes his mind.
So the whole trip back basically is just silence. Besides that, though, and I think we'll have to figure out exactly like the bonuses you guys get for these people.
Because I think it'll be like Caleb said, they'll probably just solve problems we come in contact with, right? Like,
right.
Problems that are beyond us would be like, okay, they commit these people to this problem, and then
yes, I mean, how many free invokes you guys get from that, but we can figure that out later.
Right. Yeah.
I think, David, if you want to look back to see how well because you succeeded with style, right, David, on your shoot attack there, and then Jared, you just succeeded with style as well. Oh no, you just tied with that attack there. So I think we get one from Jared's people, and what?
That was the support roll? Like, or not the convincing, like how many things I got out of that roll?
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
Just on like how well you succeeded.
Let's see.
I could do a provoke roll when I'm up there. To announce the crowd. Could that be my last roll?
Sure. But that means I have to give you a difficulty, which means you could fail.
Well, I do. I think it might not be necessary to worry about invokes. We can talk about it afterwards, I think. But
That's
I think
true,
that might not necessarily be required, depending on how we use them. So,
Gotcha.
we can maybe hash that out afterwards.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, Caleb. So we're back to you. So you listen at the door and you hear Matthew. What do you do? You can't make out like what he's saying, but you can hear that you recognize that it's him.
Is there another person in the room?
Yes.
Can I recognize the voice? Can I make a notice check?
Yeah, you can make a notice check. Yeah.
Yeah, just to like get a read on.
I mean, you can make a notice check to see who's inside, or you want to listen in.
Basically, I want to have a full awareness of what is going on inside the room and who is inside.
Okay, I think difficulty 4.
Okay, 4. Boom.
Okay, yeah. So it's Matthew inside, and I'll just kind of play it out. He's talking to who you estimate is the fake John. And the fake John is asking, all right, and how did John react when people questioned his authority? Did he reprimand right away, or did he just kill them? And Matthew says, for the most part, he just would kill them. Sometimes he was a little back and forth, but I think for the most part, he just killed people that disagreed with him. And you can be a little bit inconsistent on that front. And he's like, okay, understood. And Matthew says, but I think killing our people is less helpful. If we're going to keep up this charade, you might want to try being a little bit gentler. Do you react to that or do anything with that?
Yeah. So from that, I mean, do I have any clue as to like who the other guy is? Like, does it sound like John?
No.
Okay. It just sounds like
it's not John.
Random dude
Yeah.
that I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never heard his voice before.
Okay. Well, I don't want him to be in the room.
You just like wait until he leaves, basically.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll just give you that. If eventually he leaves, and roll a stealth check to see if anybody notices you as you're waiting outside.
Yeah. Difficulty?
4.
6.
This is nobody should be around this area.
I keep waiting.
All right, so yeah, you get all positive rolls. That's really nice. Okay, so you just like walk in then after he's gone, and you can get a peek at fake John, and he's just a really big guy.
Okay,
that's
so
German.
They just
probably
did a figurehead or something like that,
Yep.
or maybe appointed a new prophet from among their ranks or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I step inside. Very ready to immediately clamp my hand over Matthew's mouth if he's about to do anything.
Yeah. So you walk in, and Matthew doesn't do anything or say anything. He just looks at you.
Yeah, I close the door behind me. I have my revolver in my hand, just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
And I look at him and I say, Matthew.
He nods.
I take a couple, like I kind of stand, so I'm like in the middle of the room, like kind of facing him. A bit of a distance. So what does the room actually look like, I guess?
It's just like an office room. I mean, basically they were just sitting at like a table.
Okay. Yeah. So I stand opposite him on the other side of the table, but I don't sit.
Yeah.
And I say, did you join them?
He just shakes his head.
And now I might have missed something from the conversation you were having but Matthew didn't say anything to John. John was just talking to him.
No, Matthew was basically explained to him who John was and what he was like, how he would react to certain things.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, yep. So I say, wait. So I asked, "Are you with them?" And he shook his head.
Yeah, he shook his head.
Okay. Then I say, so they captured you?
He nods.
Now, is that correct from what you guys described to me, or did anyone see what happened with him?
Not really. He just wasn't there. Neither was the laptop.
All right. Yeah, and is that laptop's gone, right?
As far as we know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I say, the laptop, where is it?
He shrugs and says, Peter Marka Luke has it.
What was on it? What did they learn?
Where the nukes were.
Do they have them? Are they all here?
Yes.
How many?
4.
Okay, that's what we thought. Now, Matthew, I'm going to need you to do something for me, okay? Are we friends? I'd like to think we're friends.
He nods and says, you took very good care of me while I was in your company. Made sure I wasn't tossed to the side. We are friends, Caleb.
Good. I'm glad. No, I promise you I have absolutely no ill will towards you. I just want this to end. I want to save what's left of this planet. Do you want to do that too, Matthew?
Very much so.
Can I make an empathy check to like double check on everything he's telling me right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a 1.
He's telling the truth.
What was the difficulty, Connor?
The difficulty is a secret.
Is that something you can do in Fate? I don't
It's
actually
today.
know.
Well, so technically he can choose to succeed at a major cost. So that's why he needs to know the difficulty.
Yeah, I kind of have to. I think
Sure.
in theory, I'll play to whatever.
Yeah, I think it works right now, just because this is a thing not even us know, that not even we know. So I feel like it kind of works. But...
I rolled secretly. The difficulty is a 10.
Really?
Yes.
Holy what?
Well, if there was any question of who the main bad guy is, not anymore.
Okay. So is it all like? Is this something that we as? Okay, so can you don't? I guess you can answer this question however you want, Connor. But like, my question for you as the GM is this just because he's really hard to read, or because he's literally lying? Like, and obviously you don't have to tell me that as a player.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay. But it's not unreasonable for me to think those are two viable options in this situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. Well, there's basically no way I could actually get that high. So I guess I'll just have to... Well, but it's an overcome. Yep. So I can succeed at a major cost if I want.
Yes, you can.
Do I do it, guys? Do I do it? I feel like it would be really valuable to know right now.
Maybe, but
because this is the thing, right? If I go along with it and I tell him all of our plans and he's evil, it's all over. Like, that's it.
Well, yeah, don't tell him their plans. Ask him if what you got to do is get to make a rapport roll before you commit to anything. If you're gonna succeed at a major cost on something, it should be the rapport roll to get him on our side. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
that's
knowing
fair.
whether or not he's telling the truth, it helps, but ultimately the important part is getting him on our side.
Is the rapport. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, so I try to read him, fail. And then I say, can you do something for me, Matthew?
He nods.
We want to stop this. We want to end it. When you hear this, when you hear the alarms start blaring, cause the biggest distraction you can think of. We need all the time you can give us to end this.
He nods.
Can I make a rapport roll then?
To get him to do this?
Yes.
Now remember, Connor, that in theory, if you allow a roll for a thing,
he can succeed at a major cost.
Impossible for him to. He can technically just choose to succeed. So if it's not possible, you can just say no.
Yeah, it is not a possible thing he would consider.
Right.
Okay, but he's going to pretend like he is.
Yeah.
Dang. Is there
for all intents and purposes, Caleb believes that Matthew will do this.
But is there a way that I can? Is there any way? You don't have to tell me what it is, but is there any way that I could frame my request to him that he would actually consider it?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay, so this is what I say. I say, I think I sit down and I put the revolver on the table and I say,
he doesn't even glance at the revolver. He's just locked in with you.
Mm-hmm. I say, Matthew, you told me once. Well, you didn't tell me so much as show me what you went through to cause this. Why you did it. What you sacrificed. Was it worth it? Do you like the world that you've created? Or maybe did you for a while?
I thought I knew what I wanted. This is not the world I wanted from the very beginning. I never wanted the whole world to be destroyed like this. I just wanted justice for America.
How would you have wanted everything to go if you had had your way? If everything had gone exactly according to plan?
Say it again.
How would you have wanted the world to look like if everything had gone exactly according to plan? What world did you want to create?
A world where the nations were equal, where they were held accountable by each other. A world of peace.
And assured mass destruction wasn't that?
No. I didn't want that from the very beginning. They betrayed me.
But you wanted the nukes to go off.
Just in America. And not as many as they did.
So just enough to cripple, to bring America to its knees, but not enough to destroy it?
Just enough to equal the playing field.
Equal the playing field for who?
Everyone.
What about Russia? What about China?
I know very well of Russia and China. I was the vice president of the United States. I knew what we were up against. Believe me, I calculated very well.
And so why only attack America? Wouldn't that just ensure that the other people win? Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't disagree that America probably deserved what it got. But why just America?
Heroes can only kill the demons they find, the demons they know. Heroes can only defeat the villains when they know where they are, what their weaknesses are. I chose to defeat the villain I knew because I was a part of it. My colleagues knew of the rest of the world, and they knew how to bring justice there. But they decided against justice and went for extermination instead.
So if everything had gone according to plan, the four of you would have divided and conquered. Brought everyone to their knees, and then let them work it out after that, with an equal playing field.
Something like that.
That doesn't sound as crazy as I expected. And then I look at him and I say, Would there be any way to bring it? No, how would I say this? What's the fix now?
What's the what now?
What's the fix now? How do you
Like to the
create-
world? Is what,
Yeah, how do you create that? If you had all the resources in the world right now, if you had all the control that you wanted, how would you fix it? How would you make it become like you wanted it to become even after all of this happened?
he says, he thinks about it for a bit, and then he says, cripple Germany.
Right, because they're the only people left with any staying power.
He nods.
Yeah. So I think I look at him, like I've kind of been glancing back and forth, like, just kind of down and then back at him. And I look back and I say, okay.
Do you have a plan?
This is a military base. Fire the nukes at Germany. There you go. The end.
I'm trying.
And we can help you. You cause the distraction, we'll set them off.
Roll the thief.
Yes, and so this is the thing. My plan here, what I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to get so I can roll rapport for my deceive here, because what I'm basically doing is I've assimilated the role of Matthew, right? Like with everything that we did before with the acting, right? I'm doing that again, and I'm becoming like either him or one of the other prophets. Like I am melding into that role and basically doing the same thing I did before, except this time I'm trying to. I don't know for sure if Matthew's double crossing me or like still want, but I at the very least don't agree with nuking Germany, obviously. But I'm gonna fall into that role so that we can get what we want. Whether or not his motivations or whatever, and he's gonna betray us, I don't know that. But I want to give us more a solid, give him a solid reason for why he would actually help us. Besides the goodwill that I assume is there. Okay, cool. Difficulty?
Well, I'm just gonna roll. You're trying to roll what now?
I'm basically using my All the World's a Stage to do the same thing we did before with Matthew, where I'm falling into the role.
So you're
of
rolling rapport instead of deceive. So he's
Yes.
just gonna roll empathy in return, because you're trying to convince him that you want to nuke Germany.
Basically, I'm trying to convince him that my personality has changed, or that he didn't know who I was before, that sort of thing. So
Right.
6.
That's the difficulty. Yep. Okay.
Yo, boy.
So you convince him that you actually do want to nuke Germany.
Yeah. So basically,
Okay.
as far as I know, he will cause the distraction then, because he thinks that we're going to help him set off the nukes.
As far as you know, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to wash my hands of the rest of this and hope that's enough. And I stand up and I say, okay, we'll do it. Thank you, Matthew.
He nods.
And I reached out to shake his hand.
He shakes it.
Let's end this
Together.
And I grab my revolver and I shoot him in the face. No.
I was expecting it.
I kept thinking of a moment where if it made any sense for me to do that in character, but I was like, no, there's something that I wouldn't do that. So if I had figured out he was lying to me, that I would have. But anyway, yep. So I grab the revolver and I do the dramatic step away, go to towards the door, and then we just see my face just frown slightly, and I don't actually look back, but my eyes kind of just do the slightly looking back towards where I came from. We just see that moment of well, I hope that worked, and then I slip out.
Yeah. Okay, roll a stealth on your way out, Gil.
all right, boys. Still have 2 fate points.
I mean, difficulty is what 6?
It was 6 before. Can it be a
just
4 now?
all the way home? No, I think it's a 6.
Okay. Okay. All right. Spend my fate point on
You get out of there.
relentless leader.
Okay. All right, you get out of there. You go all the way home. Okay, so here's how this is gonna go.
No idea how I did that.
So I gotta deal with a couple of things. I'm trying to wrap this up real fast because I gotta go.
Yeah.
But so everybody comes back. So Jared brings his group of, I don't know, probably like 70 soldiers from like the 200 of like men that come, and then David probably similar. Emily and Mr. Lang come back with a group of like probably like 30 or something like that, and they have like a bunch of like radio tech, right? So they're going to help you guys to be able to communicate during the fight.
Sure.
So that'll be a huge boost to like communication as a part of war. And then there's a little issue with them though. The people that Emily brought, and Emily kind of probably comes up to you, Caleb, and is like, so that didn't go super well.
How so?
So I used to do like a radio broadcast. And somehow they heard it and recorded some of it, but they couldn't hear all of it, even though their radio tech is pretty awesome.
Are you telling me that they worship you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And they think that I like to kill people because I did like a medical broadcast to try to help people in the apocalypse. And so they think that I like
only got
to
the stabby
people
parts.
open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the stabby part's just that. And this is off of Emily's Trouble, which you told me is attracts a cult following.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. So you have to deal with that. But
so I'm like, well, I mean, there are bigger problems we could have. A
and
group
then
of fanatic medical students sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and Connor comes back with some soldiers as well. And you guys have basically amassed like a small army.
Sweet.
And you guys are probably reconvening, right? And anybody talk about anything that happened?
I've probably revealed to everyone at that point what I did.
That's what I was hinting at.
So everybody's probably just I mean, I assume everybody gives the story, right?
Yep.
But I feel like there's probably nothing we need to like get into further on your guys's.
Well,
stories,
just debriefing
right?
of like, especially David with Luke being able to have a radiation poisoning that affects people.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably something you want to explain to them, but you do. And then Caleb.
Yeah. And then I say, well, Emily and Lang did a fantastic job recruiting in whatever town was over there. I say the name. I actually did something else. I went into the base again, and I met with Matthew.
Did you tell anybody you left?
Clarence. Clarence knew.
Oh, I'm sure he would have been a lot of help.
I got in, I got out, I did what I needed to do. At least
Alright.
Emily and Lang knew too. If something had happened, well, you would have figured out by now anyway. I talked to him, and he agreed to cause a distraction for us.
Caleb, as soon as you say that, you guys hear an alarm.
Okay. From the military base?
From the military base.
Okay.
And as you watch,
did his job.
the entire facility goes on lockdown.
Okay. All right. Yep.
And
Awesome.
we all look directly at Caleb.
Okay, and this is where we're gonna get as we close here.
And I just, the only thing you see from my face, and you just see me go, And I just bite my lip and look down.
I just shake
And so
my
now-
head disapprovingly.
You guys as characters, especially you, Caleb, I don't know if you're thinking, oh, okay, Matthew ratted me out, or Matthew
Yeah, I don't know what to think.
got it beat out of him,
Yeah.
or somebody caught me on my way out.
Yeah.
You don't really know.
Who knows?
You and Jared and David, you can probably assume whatever you want to assume,
Yeah.
depending on how much of it you're trying to base off of what Caleb says. But I'm going to give you guys, as players, as the audience, right,
A scene from
little-
like what's
a little
happening.
scene.
Yeah, okay.
from what's happening inside.
Cool.
The song Shots Fired by Hidden Citizens starts playing in the background as we kind of get the scene.
Shots fired.
Yep. Matthew was talking with Mark and Luke. And he says, they're here. Put everything on lockdown. I've convinced Caleb, that I'm here to aim the nukes at Germany. I assume they're going to come in and have some sort of plan. This time, we're not going to overextend like you did under John's leadership. This time, we're going to be ready for them. Meet them head on. Amass our armies. Get everybody inside. Put everything on lockdown. We'll send a force out to meet them if they come close. Otherwise, I have lots of traps to spring here in the facility. This time, they're all going to die. And we will be able to complete our mission. Mark, I want you to lead the force outside. Luke, you're in charge of setting up traps inside. And we'll use him as well. And Luke smiles real big. And Matthew says, there's something that still troubles me. They're all out here for revenge. They all want to kill us for what we've done to them, but they still see themselves as heroes. They don't understand that they have no purpose. They're short-sighted. Seeing everything as just a personal me, I, and what they want. They don't see that they're part of the problem. We are going to end this world. Do it right this time. And Luke smiles real big again. And Matthew says, when they come, and they will, whether we sound the alarm or not, we're going to show them that heroes are the ones who look beyond themselves. Dismissed. And right before
What
the
a turd.
right before the chorus of Shots Fired plays, we get a scene of you guys standing epically on the highway and the army behind you. And then David cocks his gun right before it gets the drop for the first chorus. And then you guys can, I think you put it in the messenger chat, Caleb, of the song.
I did indeed.
Yeah, okay. So you guys can listen to that after we're done. But all right, that's it. And then next week we'll start the finale.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Your job was to make the ending interesting.
Ay.
Well,
Not only do we have a cult now who might kill us, they're on full alert.
but just think, guys, what we could have gotten instead is another boring vignette about, not that your guys' vignettes were boring, but we could have just had me convincing more people, but no, it's way more interesting this way.
That was good.
Dude, we just need to find that secret staircase David found on the map.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Let's do post-apocalypse.